Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Hollywood After Dark. Today, of course, is the 21st of November, 2021. It is Sunday night. Where the hell are you? You're here getting ready to talk about movies, entertainment, everything in between. I'm your host, Matt Jarbo. Tonight's going to be a lot of fun. Open call-ins. Want to hear your thoughts while talking about Ghostbusters, some Spider-Man nonsense, and of course, getting to hear all the spicy hot goss you guys want to talk. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Let's just get the hell into it. Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? Welcome to the party. Of course, it's like as I said, it's Sunday night, Hollywood After Dark. It's been a fun-filled weekend for me. Yesterday, went to my sister's wedding down in Portland, got to spend time with family, which I just want to point out is a very important thing to do, especially during these trying times. And I actually got to workshop a little bit of comedy as I was trying to do this. And as I explain this, I want to bring in, I want to get a live reaction from RJ, Resident Justice, who is here.
Hey, what's up, Matt?
Not
Just
too
FYI, if there's some audio issues, there's a thunderstorm outside. I might be muting frequently, but it should be fine.
That's okay, man. That's all right. Anyway, so last night,
I saw one of your tweets.
So yeah. So last night I'm at this wedding, right? And of course it's my sister, my youngest sister, who's like just turned 30. So I feel way older now than everything else. And so they're doing the whole toast stuff, and like I've largely been removed from like her day-to-day life for many years because we just kind of moved apart and everything. And so like her husband, now my brother-in-law, I've met him a number of times. Really good guy, really like him, but I don't have enough of a relationship with them necessarily. And so like my sister is like asking people like, oh hey, who's gonna come up and give a toast and whatever. And my younger brother was there, and he gave a really good off the cuff toast. I have to give him credit. He's more of like the philosopher type guy. I'm more of like the off the cuff type guy. So it was really good. He did a great job. I was really impressed. And I'm like, fuck, how am I going to follow that up? And so, cause like the two of them are like, they're much closer in age. I'm like 10 years older than my sister. So it's just a bit of a generational thing. And then in my mind, I'm thinking I gotta make a joke because they're bringing me up there so I can make a joke. I can maybe workshop something. So as I'm like trying to wrangle my 2-year-old in between these toasts, I'm trying to think of something funny to say, and I keep going back to the meme from Fast and Furious this summer. My sister's an internet person, kind of. Her fiance or husband now would be an internet person. So I'm like, all right, I gotta drop a family line, but how do I make it funny? So I say, I'm all like, I get up there, and this is at the end of the speech. I start off by like, talking about like nerd stuff to kind of make people laugh and everything else. And then I drop my big line. My big line was, I'm not a philosopher, folks, but allow me to quote the immortal words of Vin Diesel, family. And I thought it would do well with the younger audience in the room. Not necessarily. It bombed so hard. But I was able to then turn it into something sentimental by saying, but no, family really is important right now, given these trying times. It's good that everyone is here and enjoying themselves and in company. And of course, I wish you both nothing but the best and happiness and all that stuff. So, all right, everyone, be sure to tip your waiter. Have yourself a great night. I'll see y'all later. And like, I kind of like quickly scrambled to get done after that. And then it was my sister's maid of honor, her best friend who followed me. And she was like, well, I felt really bad having to follow you. And I'm all like, I don't know. That last line kind of sucked. And she's like, no, it was fine. It was fine. But even my sister today, I talked to my sister about it. I'm like, okay, I got to ask, like an amateur comedian, like going up to the audience member, like, so like, what'd you think of the whole thing? Just wanted to get a little bit of feedback. Yeah. I want to, get a little bit of feedback about it. And she was all like, she's like, I didn't get it.
Wow.
And I'm like, how do you not? It's Vin Diesel. It's It's a Fast and Furious meme.
It's Vin Diesel. It's the man. It's the myth. It's the legend.
Yeah. And she like, and then of course, like, she's like, oh no, that I guess. But she's like, I'm not into Fast and Furious. She's like, maybe Jeremiah got it. I'm like, I don't know. he gave me no indication about whether or not he got what I was trying to lay down. So to me, that was really funny. The whole night was a lot of fun. I'm exhausted today. Like I'm beyond. I feel like I was
Hit by a
be
truck.
yeah, because like because of the pandemic and because I'm a homebody and I work from home and everything. I really don't leave the house in anything other than like shorts or sweatpants, like ever, because there's really not a need to. Even right now, like I was out doing deliveries tonight and it's like 38 degrees outside and it's foggy as hell. I'm in sweats because like who the fuck am I trying to impress, right? So I forget that I'm going to a wedding and I'm like, oh my God, what do I even have to wear?
Right. It's like I
That
don't typically dress this
Yeah,
nicely.
like I mean, even when I was working for the census last year, I could still go out in like a t-shirt and jeans and they were fine with that. And so I find some clothes, I put them all together, but then I'm like, I don't have any dress shoes. I just
No.
literally don't.
Okay, this is really off topic. Isn't there that one video though of you wearing like a really nice suit dancing or something?
Yes, and I'm getting to that. I'm
Oh,
getting to
okay, okay,
that.
okay, okay.
So my girlfriend, I'm asking her like, hey, do you know where my other pair of sneakers are that are like from 2016 that are still in relatively good condition? Because
Mhm.
like I don't wear them that often. And she's like, the ones that you mowed the lawn with that have grass stains on them. I'm like, yeah, those. And she's like, why would you need those? And I'm like, because the other ones I have are pretty dirty and I don't have literally anything else. And she's like, let me see what I can go find. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't own anything. I have like flip flops, you know? And she comes back and she's got these like, these nicer shoes, these like slip on St. John's Bay memory foam loafer type shoes. And I'm like, where the fuck did those come from? She's like, we had them. I'm like, no, seriously, where the fuck? I don't remember buying these. So why would we have a size 12 and I'm a size 11 and a half wide? Why would I have a size in my mind? I'm immediately like, what's going on here? Like, what do you, I'm like, wait a minute.
Right.
Why do you have these shoes? And then of course, as I put them on, I start to remember where I got them. And I got them because for that night, that video is taken of me dancing. I was wearing those shoes.
Uh,
That was New Year's Eve 2017. So I bought those shoes in December 2016, nearly 5 years ago. Have not worn them since then. So taking those to a wedding where I had to wrangle a 2-year-old who was basically like Speedy Gonzalez meets the Flash all night long, running around, running around, running around for literal hours. I am in ungodly amounts of pain today. So
I completely understand.
that to me was hysterical. And it's just been, man, it's
It's
just
one of those
been
days.
one of those days where, like I slept in today and then the whole day I'm like, I don't want to do shit. And then I went out doing deliveries and stuff and I'm like, all right, fuck it. Like, it was a hell of a night. So yeah, anyway, that was my night yesterday. I thought it was a lot of fun. But I did get, it was kind of cool because my sister's, husband is a huge nerd. Right. And so
Mm.
he actually like designed the reception himself,
Oh, okay.
which is interesting because like my sister is not she's a chef, she's a cook, so she is in that world.
Mm.
When it comes to like designs of things, she is not like that. Like my family, we're just not, we're good at one thing, we stick to that particular topic. And so but her husband's like, he's a huge nerd, so he actually like designed their altar for them to be married under was actually a Stargate.
Oh, that's
It was
cool.
meant to be a Stargate. The seating arrangements, each table was a different science fiction property. So
Oh,
he
that's
had like
nice.
The Expanse, and then they had like Star Trek, and they had the Millennium Falcon, and they had like the Razor Crest and stuff. And they put me at the Razor Crest table, and in the middle of the Razor Crest table was one of those like Star Wars black figures,
Oh,
like
okay.
of Mando, which I kept, by the way.
Oh, you
And
kept it.
oh,
Nice.
I fucking totally ganked that shit. I'm all like, no one ever cares about the centerpiece. This toy's coming with me.
Was it in the box or out of the box?
No, it was open, but that's fine. That's fine.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna sit on my desk and just like keep me company because I just love Mando. So, but it was all sci-fi stuff like that. And again, most of this was lost on my family. A lot of them who came on in from like my stepdad's side are all like pretty conservative.
They're all like, "What's this
So
nerd shit?"
they're very accepting of my sister, and even I. They know I'm a huge ass nerd, but we're family and whatever. And so that was all lost on them. But that those little details were not like my. They even give away as like as I guess you could say a parting gift or something. They got a whole bunch of like gold Starfleet pins.
Oh, okay.
So like, and so I got one of those and stuff, and like, so it was very much a
Here's an
geeky
important
night.
question though: was the cake nerd themed?
It was not nerd themed though, no, but
Okay.
it was good for what I could have. Being a diabetic, I had to make sure I couldn't have too much of it. But at the end of the day, it was definitely an entertaining time, and it's one that I'm glad is over, and I don't have to do again for a while because oh my god, this is why I'm telling you guys this right now. If you don't know this, buy good shoes. Always invest money into good shoes.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
always have a pair of shoes ready to go.
always, always have it. What was really funny was my kid. My 3-year-old was kind of like the belle of the ball, so to speak,
Mm.
where because she hasn't really interacted with like any of these people in a long time, and so but she immediately was like they put her hair in like little buns, both my daughters, because they were supposed to be the flower girls. you
Oh,
know?
okay.
And so like they wanted like the buns like Leia and stuff. And so they did that. And then my daughter was like trying to like, hang out with everybody all night because she was getting more attention than she's like ever gotten in her entire life. And she was just eating it up. Even at one point when they started doing the Macarena, everyone
Oh
got in line
god.
to do the Macarena. And my 3-year-old went there too, in between my mom and my sister, and was trying to do the Macarena. It was the cutest fucking thing. This 3-year-old, almost 4, she's basically 4, but she was trying to do the Macarena, trying to understand what it was that everyone is doing and why they looked so ridiculous. And then I'll tell you the funniest thing is at the end of the night, we're packing everything up because we had set up some displays. And my youngest daughter, like she'd been running around all night. We got her finally changed and ready to go. And so she's kind of dancing on the dance floor because they're still playing some music. And then
Mm.
all of a sudden she just kind of reappears and she's got this piece of cake.
Oh boy.
And we're like, we both, my girlfriend and I look at each other like, where the fuck did you get the cake from? And at that point we were both just done. We were just fried beyond belief. And we're both like, fuck it. Like, fuck it.
Let her keep it. Who cares?
Yeah. And then I think like we thought she might have taken it off of the cake table, which would have been like totally cool. But I think she took it off of one of my sister's friends' plates.
Oh
Because
no.
like that, because apparently that friend complained about that particular, like about her cake going missing.
Oh
So
no.
just imagine like a 2-year-old just kind of like walking over to the dance floor and just kind of like semi like dancing around and then just like munching on this like giant piece of white cake. We were just like at that time we were like no, we just didn't care. I'm like all right, let her have it. Let her have it. It's going to be fun.
Let her have the cake. That's great.
And so it was a lot of fun. It was definitely a lot of fun that like it's crazy. B here says, remember we could run around a wedding like that and not be dead afterward? Yeah. Yeah. Because my cousin who was there, she got married on 9/11.
Oh no.
99. Sorry, let me clarify that.
Oh, okay.
99. So 2 years prior, I was 17 when she got married, and they had an open bar at an Elks Lodge. And we were like, it was her and her husband and my stepdad and I, and we were all reminiscing about how utterly fucked up we got. And I was 17, and they fully knew I was 17. They didn't care. They're like, let Matt drink whatever the hell he wants. I think that night was I was in screwdriver heaven.
Mm.
And even my stepdad's like, yeah, I polished off like 2 bottles of tequila. And then I was like, yeah. And then you drove me home. And he's like, I should not have been driving. I'm like, yeah, neither one of us should have been driving, but we did. That was very much a night. So yeah, that was kind of fun. That was good times and everything else. But I'll tell you what I haven't been able to watch this weekend. And that of course is Cowboy Bebop. But I know you guys have had your whole thing with that one.
Yeah. I'm not
Anyway,
gonna watch Ghostbusters either. I'm gonna wait next weekend.
yeah, I haven't seen it myself yet. I'm gonna hopefully go this week. I want to see. Maybe I'll just go on like Tuesday night, and I'll go watch Resident Evil, and I'll go watch Ghostbusters because I really want to see Resident Evil. I do. I really want to see it.
I'm gonna wait for streaming for that one. To be honest, it's not like a theater movie for me.
Nah, that's a theater movie, dude. That's a theater movie.
Not for me
That's a
personally.
sit there in the theater and like go, how bad is this gonna be? You know?
Ghostbusters, that's theater worthy. Resident Evil, yeah.
There's a lot of shit that's theater worthy though, RJ. It really is. Like not, and Resident Evil is always theater worthy. Because like I even saw most of the other ones in theaters. No, wait. I didn't see five. I didn't see five in theaters. In fact, I didn't see Resident Evil 5 until right before the final chapter came out.
Okay.
And I bought the Blu-ray set for like $15 from Fry's. And I went home and I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't seen number 5. And I watched it and then I'm like, oh, now I know why I haven't seen number 5. It was the worst of the bunch. And then I watched the final chapter like the next day. And I'm like, it was only marginally better, but my God, 5 was terrible.
The last two are especially bad.
I mean, I like 4, believe it or not, because I like the fact that it totally like depowered Alice in the first 5 minutes of that movie. I always thought that was kind of ridiculous at the end of Resident Evil Apocalypse when she ends up like getting, the scanner's abilities, like the telekinesis stuff at the end of that movie. And I'm like, wait, what? Huh? Okay. And then in number 3, when, it's like, I liked number 3, but it's like, I thought her abilities were kind of stupid. And then here comes 4 and they're like, fuck it. Like, let's reset her. They treated it like a video game.
Yeah, they kind of did.
Where you start off the first level and you're fully OP.
Yeah.
And then something happens where you just lose everything and you got to start back over from scratch again. And then they never went.
Very, very Metroid-esque. It's funny you mentioned I've been playing Metroid Dread until the game opens. It's like all your abilities are gone somehow. We don't know why. You have to go investigate why.
Well, one of the best games to handle that was actually Assassin's Creed. Because in the first mission of Assassin's Creed, you are completely locked and loaded. Everything's available. And Altair is at like his peak. And you get to experience everything. And then you lose it all and you have to go back and regain it. And I felt like that was like, it kind of made sense. Whereas, when you're playing a game like, I don't know, fucking BioWare, or you're playing Mass Effect, which came out at the exact same time. And then it's, you build up your character and then you go to Mass Effect 2 and it's like, I got to rebuild my character.
True, but they do have a good explanation for it, though.
I forget.
The opening of the game, it takes place right after Mass Effect 1. They're on their voyage. Their ship is attacked. Shepard evacuates the entire crew and sacrifices themselves so everyone else can get away. So Shepard dies, and then that Martin Cerberus clone Shepard. So that's why they all the same abilities.
Okay. That's right. Okay, it's been a while since I played it.
Yeah, so the original Shepard who got all the abilities died. The one you play as in 2 and 3 is the clone. So.
Okay. Well, that's cool. That makes sense. What other game? Was it like Wolfenstein 2 would make sense if what happened to your character happened at the beginning of the game rather than halfway through? Did you ever play the new Colossus?
No, but I've heard mixed things.
Can I spoil that? Yes, that?
You can.
It's been a number of years. I want to spoil it. Here's the thing. The first one, Wolfenstein.
The first one, he gets shot in the head, right? And he goes into the coma. Right?
He goes into the coma. But that's one thing. That's kind of like how 20 years pass. And BJ Blazkowicz doesn't really seem to age a day. Kind of odd. But then
we forgive it.
You forgive it. You move on, because he's building a relationship with the nurse, and that's kind of like the Florence Nightingale syndrome, and it works out well. And of course, I thought the story and the characters and everything in Wolfenstein: The New Order was great. And then they did the Wolfenstein: The Old Blood, which was the prequel, which was also really good for being the DLC. But then they get to the new Colossus, and the new Colossus, halfway through the game, you get captured, and then you get beheaded. Literally.
Oh, that's right. They cut your head off.
They cut your head off. They kill you, and then your head gets captured, and the scientist is able to then graft your head onto the body of like the old Jewish supersuit the Jewish scientist supersuit that you get in the first game. And then that's how you're able to continue living
But
you
it's not your
know,
same body though.
it's not your same body at all, but like that's how you're able. It's such a weird. I was so turned off by the story to
Yeah, I don't know why
Wolfenstein,
they made that choice. It's such a
and
weird.
then well, then they did the sequel. They did the
Oh,
sequel,
don't mention that one. No, no,
which
no,
like
no.
I haven't played it, but that thing got torn to shreds.
It's horrible. It's horrible, horrible, horrible.
I
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know what
uh,
happened, man. I don't know what happened.
machine games kind of fucked it up. Kind of fucked it up a little bit. Um,
Unlike Doom, where Doom got better under id, but you know,
I'll tell you this: Doom 2016 overrated.
really.
I was kind of
What
bored
about
by
Doom
it.
Eternal?
Never played it because I kept watching gameplay footage and it bored the hell out of me.
Oh, they're so good
I don't
though.
know why. I don't know why it did. I'm like,
You
no,
might
just
like Doom Eternal more. I would say
I just got a little
it's on
bored
Game
by.
Pass. It's on Game Pass.
Yeah, I need to download it, play it, and that's how I'll check it out. But it's like, no, really, like playing Doom 2016. I don't know what it was. I bought it when it came
I think it
out.
might be the story. Doom
There's well, because
2016.
there's like not much of a story. And granted, in
Right.
the
Doom
original
2016
Doom,
is not much of a story. Doom Eternal, I think, focuses more on the lore
okay,
and story.
okay, because like I mean, I need something like that to keep me going. I just do. I need something to get myself invested into. If not, I just feel like
Well, Doom
it's
Eternals is such an amazing premise. It's literally hell on Earth. Hell has come to
yeah.
Earth and taken it over, right? So,
And okay. No, I'll give it. I'll download it. I think I'll definitely give it a play. I want to, and that's why, folks, it's good to get the Game Pass. So there's that. But H Bart's here with $2 is Turd Tickler song. That was from me dancing
yeah.
on that whole thing. So all right, why don't we go to Eternal?
You still haven't seen Eternals yet?
Go. I haven't seen Eternals yet. No,
I just want to wait for Disney Plus at this point.
I probably am. I swear, like it's
I mean,
not that.
I don't know. I would say it's worth going to a theater. I mean, if you get like a Thanksgiving break holiday, like we had like a 4-day weekend coming, just go see all the movies in 1 week.
Well, it's difficult because I stream at night and then I go and I deliver, and it's been very like even tonight, like dude, like this week has been shit. Tonight I spent like an hour in line at a Wendy's because it was so dead, and I was like, well, this is just something to do, and everything else, and that was like the order. I think it was like $15. They tipped out, I think, an additional $1.50, and whatever, which I'm not complaining about because that was generous. And then the last order I did was like for $2, and it was on the way home, so I didn't really care. But it's like still, that's just the delivery fee, no tip. But it's been like that all week's been so slow. But it's also pre-Thanksgiving, and so people are out shopping and whatever. And then, but I'll tell you this though, on Thanksgiving Eve on Wednesday,
You'll probably be
that's
very busy.
yeah. Oh, okay, that's great. They actually tipped out $4 from that order, as I thought they might.
By the way, McLeod is correct. They didn't technically clone Shepard. It was reanimating the dead cells. I just called it cloning because that's easier for me to remember than they
Isn't that
reanimated
effectively cloning though? I
It
mean,
kind of is, but it's the exact same Shepard. That's the big specifications that it's not a clone of Shepard. That's still the Shepard, but the other characters don't trust you yet. You have to prove yourself that you're still the real Shepard. So I don't know. It was an interesting choice, but I like Mass Effect 2 quite a lot.
yeah. No, I mean, no, Mass Effect 2 is better than Mass Effect 1 in my opinion. Hands down. And I love
They're
them.
both really good games though.
Oh yeah, but number 3, fuck number 3.
It's not that bad.
I could never get. I mean, I will say this though, the marketing blitz that EA did for number 3, I remember that in 2012, and man, that was an insane. Like, did you? Okay, we'll get to the movie here in a second, but I'll tell you this: the coolest fucking thing that they did is they launched a copy of the game up into like the upper atmosphere. Right, like enough into space where they could kind of like qualify it as it going to space, and then they dropped it in the Mojave Desert, and they dropped it in the Mojave Desert with a GPS tracker, and they put out the coordinates, and some dude from like LA or something drove out there and found it.
Really,
and it was a couple days before the game even came out.
Oh, so they did that purposely.
They did that purposefully. They shot a copy of it up into space.
Who the hell, who's gonna find this and play it first?
I was living in LA at the time, and had I known it was going to happen, I would have
Here's a good question. Though. Was it functional? Could you actually play it?
I believe so. I mean, if not, I'm sure he could call and go, "Hi, so putting this thing up into a very cold temperature damaged the disc. Can I get a replacement?" I'm pretty sure they would have done that. But they did do that. I mean, and it was like, I thought that was cool. But I'll tell you, when we talk about the culture war, It was right before Mass Effect 3 came out that kind of kicked off this everyone talks about like Anita Sarkeesian and whatever because she did kind of come around in 20.
No, it was Mass Effect 3 that changed
It
everything, really.
there's an event before Mass Effect 3 that gets vastly overlooked due to the time because Mass Effect 3 was in March of 2012. At the
Mhm.
end of February, like mid to end February 2012, a woman who was a writer for Dragon Age 2 had come out and had said in an interview that she wanted games to have a skip combat button.
Oh
And that wasn't and that
yeah.
her name was Jennifer Hepler, and people called her Hamburger Hepler, right? And like, and that was the first in my recollection. That was kind of the first like culture war thing because everyone was like, "Fuck that! What the fuck? Gaming is about gaming. The fuck the stupid, all that shit." And I'm like, but if you think about it, she's not necessarily like wrong. There are lots of games that do not get finished, right? The developers can see you ever wonder why games are kind of like how they are these days? Developers will take the data from other
Mhm.
games and they can look, you can even look to see on PlayStation, and I think even Xbox,
Yeah.
the percentage of trophies.
Yeah, they use the trophies as a metric to see who actually finishes the games.
Yeah, and like how many people out there don't finish the damn
Well,
games.
it's really funny too. What was it at GDC, the Game Developer Conference? There's a video out there where I think it was someone from Sony Santa Monica Studios talking about their game design, and they use Dark Side Phil as a reference for how they want to make their games work. Because they're like, look at this man figuring out, oh, I need to do this. It's like we make our like they use Dark Side Phil as the example of like the average bumfuck gamer to understand the concept of how to use their abilities and stuff, which everyone was like laughing at. It's like they basically say DSP is the common denominator gamer that you have to appeal to make your games idiot proof, right?
That's actually
So,
a fair point to be honest with you. And that would explain DSP's longevity. Who is funding him? Big gaming. That is who is keeping DSP
yeah, I
alive.
just thought it was funny because I thought it was fake because he has all those trolls, right? I thought, oh, someone's putting footage of him playing God of War over this. No, Sony Santa Monica used his gameplay as example for how they approach game design. I was like,
Oh
what
wow.
the hell?
That is that is hysterical, by
Yeah,
the
it's on
way.
YouTube. Go and look it up. It's funny.
Oh my god, fucking DSP. He doesn't live far from me.
He
I
does.
think I think he's about 45 minutes away. I would love to take him to lunch one day. He has me blocked on Twitter, but
Why?
maybe I should just email him. I forget why. I think I criticized him. And I'd love to take him to lunch today, like one day,
Do an
just kind of like,
interview.
and just not even an interview, just a candid conversation, like off air and shit. And then just to ask him questions. Cause it's like, I just want to know, like, don't get me wrong. I've had my own ups and downs and everything, but it's like how a person like that has continued to like thrive is just a
He's
fascinating.
basically like a human equivalent. I don't mean this in a negative way. I'm saying like he's the human equivalent of a cockroach. No matter what the hell you do or what you throw at him, he keeps surviving. He's like no matter like he is immortal. He has outlasted so many different content creators. I don't know how it's possible. I really don't. And it's always by the skin of his teeth. It's kind of incredible in that way that he's still around even after all of this.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
cracks
get
me
it.
the hell
I
up.
don't get it.
Well, he is like a cockroach. A lot of people out there view Darkside Phil as very much being like just that kind of entity. And that's no shade on the guy. I mean, he's made it work. And this guy faces a lot of adversity, like a lot of adversity. Like people they've been able to get his tax records.
Hmm.
They've been able to find out like how much money he spends on like someone hacked his email or something and they were able to
Oh,
get
with the
like financial
WWE
records.
Champions thing, yeah.
Yeah, like they have like they've openly harassed him for years, and it's like, but they've created like subgroups to troll him, and the guy just like keeps going. I mean, the masturbation bit, which should have been like the end of DSP,
It
like
didn't
once
though. I don't know
no,
how.
it's then the question then turns into so where'd the cum go? Like that's about it. Like then it turns into more of a meme because he's kind of like later on he's all like, "I was scratching my leg," and he's like, "Yeah, yeah, you guys got me," you know. And then you're almost like, "Well, wow, I mean, like, is this what you do in between every one of your
Yeah,
streams?"
I remember when this tweet went viral when the Pro Jared stuff happened. And he's like, if you're doing something that's more embarrassing on a stream than me masturbating, you know you've done something wrong in your game, in your career, or whatever that was that blew
Yeah,
up.
that was because Pro Jared had attacked DSP, and DSP kind of had to laugh on that one, even though Pro Jared was vindicated
Yeah,
in regards to like the sexual abuse stuff. You know, so at least there was that, but he still sent his dick out to a lot of people, and this is the whole point, folks. Is
be careful what you post on the internet.
don't send your penis on the internet if you don't want people to eventually see your penis, because that's just gonna happen.
Unless you really want people to see it, then
But it will
post
at that
away,
point,
I
if you
guess.
are sending your dick to somebody, if you are legitimately like getting yourself erect and taking a snap and sending it to some chick on the internet, you want people to see your dick. And if you think that that's just going to go to that one person and you are a notable entity with like millions of subs, no, your dick is going to become part of the creator commodity economy. Like if that's going to be eventually like a thing, you could probably at this point sell it as an NFT and make more money in the long run, but still, or short run maybe, but still, if you post it, someone is going to see it at some point in time. And then you know what? It doesn't matter. You could have like the John Holmes or the Kieran Lee of dicks, massive hogs. It doesn't matter. People are then going to scrutinize every follicle on that thing. And it's like, you know, that is how the internet is. So keep it in your pants. Legitimately keep it in your pants.
Yeah.
That is my recommendation for
I
that.
love how we went from talking about a wedding to Dark Side Phil to penises. That's great. What a great through line of events.
Hollywood After Dark, baby. This is how it always goes.
Oh, I know.
This is how it always happens. I'm very cool with that. All right, so why don't we take a quick look here at some quick news, and then I wanted to get into some call-ins tonight, like let people.
Yeah, I put something in the private chat when we get to a certain topic.
Yeah. We'll get to that here. I want to go through the Ghostbusters stuff first.
Okay.
So Ghostbusters Afterlife came out today, or not today, this weekend, and finally, after what, a year and a half delay, almost.
Yeah, long delayed.
Finally comes out, and it did well. It did very well.
I think it's going to also do very well next weekend, because I think there's a lot of people like you and me who are not going to see it until Thanksgiving weekend. So,
well, it's not even that. I think people are going to go see it on Wednesday. I think people are going to go see it because the night before Thanksgiving is a busy movie night. You know, it really is. It is because people will go on just because not everybody celebrates Thanksgiving,
right?
But the day is off of school or work. It's a federal holiday.
Plus,
so people
you got Friday for Black Friday.
Plus, you got Friday. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, well, even then, at this point, Black Friday shopping's been happening now for 2 weeks.
That's true.
So, I mean, they're just
spacing. It's a day people like to go out.
It's a day, yeah. But people are going to go to the theaters, and I think Ghostbusters is going to do real well, considering that it doesn't really have a lot of competition. I don't think. I think Encanto.
Yeah, there's Encanto, the new Disney animated movie. Although, guess what though? They just announced that on Christmas Eve, 30 days later, Encanto will be on Disney Plus. Worldwide.
Wow, that's a bold move.
That is a bold move and very strange. I don't know why they're doing that. I might not go see it in theaters.
I'm not going to go. If it's coming out on Christmas Eve, I'm going to go. I'm just wait to hit Disney Plus.
Yeah. By the way, have you seen King Richard?
Nope.
I watched that earlier today on HBO Max. It's very good. It's one of the best movies I've seen all year.
Nice.
It's a really, really good movie. If you're in the mood for like a sports drama, it's pretty damn good.
I'm rarely in the mood for that, but I love Will Smith, so that's kind of.
I think Will Smith's going to win the Oscar this year.
Oh, good, about time. There's not much other competition.
This honestly might be one of his best performances ever, and that says a lot about him, but his body of work. But he does really good in this movie. He's really good. Also, John Bernthal's in this. He's amazing too. I hope he gets a nomination as well.
Oh, good. I'm a big Bernthal fan. I want to see that. But let's talk about the Ghostbusters box office here, because it's very fascinating. So because it was only originally, I think its box office was kind of like, it was fluctuating in regards to its estimates. I think it was like 30 million at one point I saw.
Yeah, it jumped from like 28 to like 30 to like 35 to 40.
Yeah, I mean,
this movie doesn't get an official cinema score yet.
Really?
Yeah, they did not get an official. Apparently, it's coming out tomorrow, Monday. Typically, they'd have them on Sunday, which is weird.
That is very
Because
weird
King
that
Richard
they.
already has a cinema score. It has an 8
Yeah,
cinema score.
yeah, I saw that. I definitely saw that. But I mean, yeah, the thing is though, with this movie having a good positive word of mouth is the thing here, and
Do
this
you
is what.
agree with the takes, though, that this opening being on par with the Ghostbusters 2016 is a good thing or a bad thing for this movie?
So I would argue that it's okay. So I mean, I covered 2016 pretty closely, and I'd argue probably it's some of my better work, to be fair. Because that was a dumpster fire, but it was something that the studio kept pushing. It was so weird. But in this particular situation, I think that trying to compare it is such a negative thing
Mm.
because it shows you that the people who backed 2016, they have egg on their face and they don't like it. And they're out there. I mean, the reviews coming in, like the fact that it had like rotten reviews for claiming nostalgia.
Yeah,
When
dude, it has a 62% right now,
Yeah, I was actually bringing that up right here. We got
which is ridiculous because all the negative reviews are talking about, oh, it's too nostalgia heavy. I'm like, what'd you expect? Right? It's like,
yeah, well, the critical consensus from everything here says that Ghostbusters Afterlife crosses the streams between franchise revival and exercise in nostalgia, and this time around, the busting mostly feels good. And I know that it says here 62% based off 210 reviews, and the number has gone up because it
mm.
was a lot
It
lower than
just seems
this.
like a lot of bitter critics upset about Ghostbusters 2016 and the Ghostbusters community and fan base versus actually objectively looking at the movie.
Well, yeah, and I think a lot of people out there, like looking at some of their top critics here, I guess maybe we can compare and contrast maybe, because you see here it's like Richard Roper, a good story is key, and the sequel doesn't have it. All right, Clarice Lowry, it says here Afterlife is simply the things you already knew and liked, but repeated with unearned gravitas. Like I fucking hate that argument and shit because like if there was a sequel to 2016, they'd be all over it.
Probably.
Um, Richard Lawson, your Vanity Fair says, I've no doubt that there is genuine intent on Reitman's part to honor his father's work, but otherwise Afterlife exists solely to restart this moribund franchise so that a dormant conveyor belt of product may groan back into motion. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, that reads very cynically like, oh, they're just doing this to make money. It's
Look at
like,
this here. Oliver Jones, The Observer, says Reitman's film is guided by a barely hidden contempt for the intelligence of the fans it so desperately courts. You
what?
know, like,
So basically, he's saying the movie treats the fans like
look at
idiots.
this. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. This take right here. Christy Lemire, or Lemire, whatever, from RogerEbert.com says Ghostbusters takes the series mythology way too seriously, approaching what should be a light, silly comedy as if it were serious science fiction. The result is an awkward and unwarranted feeling of reverence. Never mind the fact that the first movie and the second movie are blue collar working man's comedy.
Well, isn't that what kind of made it so interesting? Those first two Ghostbusters movies was that they did take the subject of ghosts
Yes.
and the science fiction stuff. So,
Yes.
like, it was taken so seriously, counterbalanced by the fact that it's normal people interacting with this weird zany shit.
Yes.
Right? That was the whole. That was
They
the
are
basic humor.
They are literally fucking exterminators, dude. They are fucking
They're exterminators taking
exterminators.
on these supernatural godlike
Yes,
beings.
that's it. That's all. They're regular guys. You have three scientists and you have Zedmore, who is your everyman, right? Like that's your team, and they're literally taking on ghosts and fucking other dimension gods and shit. And like that's it. That's what they do, and they have no preparation for it. But they take it. But are you fucking like light? Oh my fucking god! Sorry, I'm gonna rage on this for a
I
second.
guess I guess they wanted to be like 2016, where it's all yuck yuck
Yes,
ghosts and no
exactly.
mythology, where they shoot the ghosts in the dick. I guess.
Yeah, right. I wonder. I just, you know what? I want to see here. I just want to see. I have to
Oh
look.
no.
I have to look. All right. What is she? What is she reviewed? Can I search her?
Yeah, just keep scrolling down.
Well, this is 5 years ago. I mean, she's got a lot of stuff here. Um, well, it looks like she's got. All right, hold on. Maybe I'll just Christy Lemire, Ghostbusters 20.
She liked Dune. I guess there's some hope.
Oh, hold on. Listen, I'm googling it. All right. Okay. I don't know if she has. Oh wait, hold on. Here's apparently one. Maybe this is all right, ChristyLemire.com. Oh, she's got her other stuff. Um I think it's on all right. I think it's like the life of Louis Drax is what had it. According to Google. All right, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, no, I don't fucking know, man. I don't want to go into this too much, but I'm no, because no,
Basically, that's just a really bad take.
that take is frustrating. Um, oh, wait. Hold on here. Roger Ebert. Oh, RogerEbert.com gave Ghostbusters 2016 not written by Christy Lemire, but in general, it gave it a 2 stars. So let me see. Okay, she's got her website. Can I? Yeah, 2 out of 4. Can I? Let me see. Okay, Here we go. Christie's website is like a basically a blog spot, and so she didn't review it back in 2016. She reviewed Secret Life of Pets. She reviewed Bad Moms. She reviewed Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. She didn't, and she reviewed the Innocents. But I'm not seeing. I ain't seeing no Ghostbusters there from July 2016.
Well, maybe that's a good thing. Otherwise,
maybe.
This would have made Matt very angry.
Maybe. But she gave Suicide Squad 1.5 stars over there. So she never reviewed Ghostbusters, but some other woman did. Either way, that take is terrible. That take is god awful. Because that is just, to me, holy shit. Anyway, and the reason why that's important is because that shows you how the people who are critiquing this movie and trying to argue these points, they're doing it in a way that is just wildly like dumb.
Yeah.
Must say dumb.
Yeah, I'm not looking because Red Letter Media just posted their like hour-long spoiler review, and I'm not looking forward to that because I have a feeling I know what direction it's going to take.
Red Letter Media is just nothing more than negative gossip trash and should be ignored.
I like their best of the worst, at least. You know,
that's hey, listen, you know what?
Movies, it just gets very
because they look at new movies and they shit on practically everything, and that's where they know their money is. So it's like, look, it's just, anyway, I don't want to go into too much of them, but going over here to Ghostbusters 2016, just looking at this right here. Now, it's certified fresh with 74% based off of 390 reviews. This one has got 62% based off of, I think it was like 210 reviews. So obviously a 180% difference. But you know what? I was wondering, like, is this all from 2016? It's not
actually.
It's not. Really? So looking up here, you got look at Film Frenzy, Matt Brunson, August 18th, 2021. Gives it a fresh.
This is quite a
April 2nd, 2021. Richard Course, March 4th, 2021. March 3rd, February. Look at this here. Catherine Scott, Bitch Media, top critic, reviews a movie literally
You're telling me a website called Bitch Media is considered top critic?
It's actually Bitch Media is based out of Portland, Oregon. When I was living back down there, I was actually looking at the possibility of like applying as like an intern there or something because I was looking for some work and they had like some like menial shit. And then I'm like, no, sorry, it was like a lady my girlfriend had met worked for Bitch Media and had recommended that I apply. And then my girlfriend told me, and I'm like, but you told her that like I do YouTube, but did you say like what I did on YouTube? And she's like, no. I'm like, yeah, maybe that's for the best.
You got some negative reviews in there too.
Sure. Yeah, but it's like, why are I'm just saying, it's like at this point, here it is 4.5 years later. Why are they still?
Think it's because these are brand new critics trying to get approved by Rotten Tomatoes, coming into the system and like trying to like build up their portfolio reviews, just clicking on a random movie that they're personally invested in or like want to review.
Why the fuck is Movie Bitches got 2 reviews on here?
That is a great question. They're both negative, but like, why?
They're both negative, and they both have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Look how short this is. right?
Wait, so do they review movies together? Are they like on this on every page?
I don't know. Movie bitches. Let's see. Of Avril Halley's reviews only count towards the tomato meter when published at the following tomato meter approved publications. Movie bitches.
Is it like a
Well, at
they
least
have
she
review?
hated.
Yeah, yeah. Wonder Woman
I mean,
84.
Casper,
She
1995.
oh, okay, I was about to say I thought that was the name. They must be a YouTube channel. This is weird.
I think they are. I think they are a YouTube channel. But I mean, I'm not against YouTubers. What is movie
Yeah, because I
bitches
know
here?
Chris Stuckman has a he's Rotten Tomatoes approved, I think. So it's Grace Randolph, I think Jeremy Johns as well.
Yeah, but it's like I just find that. But look at this here. The different person, the critic, but they got two of them. They
Yeah, and
got two of them
who's
here.
reading the same movies, the exact same ones.
Yeah, and so like, but this is adding to the points. This is why I feel like this is pretty.
Yeah,
Like this is
that's
why
very bizarre.
But again, people have been reviewing this now, 2019. I mean, it's like
Maybe. Well, this brings me to an interesting point. Oh, there you go. There
look at
you
this
go.
Bob
Bob
Chipman
Chapman.
from
Click on.
Geek.
Can you click on
He
his name? I want to see his
he
review.
doesn't actually work for Geek.com anymore.
No, he doesn't. He left. But I'm just curious. Let's see what
Uh,
good old movie Bob's
movie
reviewing
Bob,
lately.
movie
Wow,
Bob
he's a
Chipman.
biography. Look at that. Look at that.
Oh yeah. Escapist magazine Geek Movie Bob Central, but he doesn't. But he's a tomato meter approved critic,
That
but not
profile
from.
picture, by the way, is hilarious. I don't know why. It's just like,
Yeah, I know. But
oh,
did you
did you
see his
read his?
ghost?
Oh my
Yeah,
god, I hated this so much.
yeah. He gave Eternals an 8 out of 10.
He calls Ghostbusters after like the Joe Biden of Ghostbusters revivals.
Yeah,
That one, like reading that pissed me off so much. He's basically saying it's just good enough and it'll be more successful only because it doesn't have women at the center of it. It's like fuck you, Bob. Fuck you. You know.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know. He didn't like Let Venom Let There Be Carnage, but still gave it a 6 out of 10. But gave No Time to Die a 5 out of 10. Okay, there we go on this one. I mean, but that's the whole point, though. Is Rotten Tomatoes is just some of these takes are terrible. But look, even this one here, there's like this massive, all these people that are just like, maybe that's when they did they did a major push or something. But you can see how this number has gone up over time.
Yeah, it's been
Where
going up, mostly up, a little bit down, a couple occasional reviews, but
Yeah, but that's just like over time, it's been like, no, people have really grown to like this movie. No, they haven't. No, they absolutely have not.
it's artificial.
It's completely artificial. And that's why I don't that's why I can't trust Rotten Tomatoes at all. I mean, like we use it as a general metric. I never put any real faith into it.
We look at it because it starts an interesting conversation. We can see what people are thinking about it, but it's
Yeah.
not the end all be all. It shouldn't be like the dictating of
There we go. There we go.
one verified review. And it's from this year.
it's from 2 months ago. Jack Jackson here says, remember when Matt says busted makes me feel good? Yeah. Yeah, I just said it. Busted makes me feel good. There we go. Make that a drop, Enosh. Rational here with $2, buddy. Thank you. How does someone become an RT approved critic? You have to
You
submit.
sell your soul.
You have to submit and everything else, and then they'll eventually. They did go through a massive. They brought in like 600 new critics like a while back. They were mostly like, I believe, like they were like Black, Latino, people of color, indigenous. They were doing more of a diverse push at the time. And so that was a way to kind of help people because it was mostly like the top critics are the ones that end up getting most of like the play on the main page, and the smaller people were like, but what about us? We don't get a lot of traffic through to our interview or to our reviews, and it's like, well, yeah, because who's going to click on it? People just want to see your summary. They don't give a shit about your actual thoughts. Like that's kind of the whole point. People would rather see a summary over something rather than actually listen to it, So I thought that was
easy blurbs.
Yeah, that's really much all it is. Yvonne here says bring up Cowboy Bebop reviews.
Oh, you don't want to look at that.
I
It's
don't want to
ugly.
go at that right now. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't
I
want
would
to
say,
like.
like, yeah, don't let anything taint your
I want to
experience.
watch it, and I want to go in kind of open. I've seen like the thing with Ed because like at some point it's hard and
Oh God. Oh jeez.
and that's very awkward. From what I saw, I
It's
saw it
pretty
without sound.
cringe. It's
I saw it
pretty
without
cringe.
sound. So yeah.
Oh, whoa, oh, Matt, you sweet baby Jesus. Oh boy.
So I saw it without sound on Twitter, and I'm like, huh, all right.
It went viral for all the wrong reasons, and there's a
Yeah,
reason for
but
it.
then again, like they did this, how many times have they done that with Netflix stuff? They'll take a spoiler scene and they'll put it out there and and they frame it like remember when Free Guy came out on VOD and they took the whole scene of him fighting
See,
the other
but that got immediate backlash though, because people actually liked the movie.
yeah, well, I guess. I haven't seen the show. And I never saw the anime, so I don't have any connection to those characters. So I'd be going in pretty much blind. And maybe that's for the best. Maybe that is because I don't have any preconceived. It's like I enjoyed Death Note the anime, but I still like the live action American version because it was just a little different. You know?
I mean, like I said, I went into it. I did. I am a fan of the anime, but I tried my best to look at it as a separate entity into it of itself, and I just have a lot of issues with the writing, especially. But that's a conversation for another day, whenever Matt sees it. So
Yeah. Well, it's only I gotta get her. It's like what 10 episodes, hour long
yeah,
each.
10-hour long episodes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. It's again. I'm hoping to watch like an episode tonight, which is why I went a little early. On this whole thing. So, but all right here. Oh, hold on. Ron C with a $10 or $9.99 super chat, but thank you, sir. It says, gentlemen, I have a curveball here. I've noticed studios are using the same actors in other franchises. I'm bored with the same actors. The film loses its mystique. What are your thoughts? Um, the thing with that essentially
Mm.
is that they need something that people are going to relate to. And they need like a visual cue that's gonna seem
Yeah.
comfortable or safe. It's what puts butts in seats essentially.
Well, plus two, oftentimes these reused actors are popular and they need the work. So like, hey, come over and join our franchise. It depends how they're used, right? Because sometimes you see an actor playing a very similar character to another one from another franchise. Like, oh, come on, it's not that it's not that
Yeah,
creative.
and it's not really the actor's fault. It's just like the actors are there to act and they're there to do a job. The downside though is just that these companies are kind of risk averse at this point and everything. But in the case of let's say like Cowboy Bebop, obviously Netflix leaned into the controversy and they're playing people with it. So because all they care about is the impact value from time being watched. And it doesn't matter. They can come out there that Ed scene that can anger people, RJ. But you know what it's also
Well,
going to
yeah,
do?
that's why I hate watch it. Hate
They're
watch
gonna
it.
yeah, they're gonna dive into that. Isn't that like is that the last scene of the show though?
I think it might be. I don't
Okay,
know.
because like I saw that was like I saw that on like YouTube as like the finale or something like that. I'm like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even
Yeah.
know where it is in the show. I don't know where it is in the
I
show.
believe it's
So
the final scene of the final episode.
okay.
So
Well, hey, at least did they save it till the end, right?
yeah.
But maybe that's
What a way
maybe
to
that's
end it, though. I will say that.
maybe. Maybe B here says Matt praises live action Death Note somewhere Saki starts randomly vomiting.
She
Probably.
liked this though, so I don't
But
know.
she liked this one and she's been arguing people about it too.
Oh yeah.
But I saw her video earlier. And well, I saw that she was arguing about it, but then she starts talking spoilers, and I'm like, I gotta dip because I haven't seen it
You
yet.
missed some crazy shit at the end. That's all I'll say.
Oh yeah, maybe one day I'll go back to it here. But Jess here for $2, buddy. Thank you. Says like I said before, anime cannot be done in live action. It's not that it can't be done; it's that it shouldn't be done.
Yeah,
If
it's a big distinction because
if Demon,
Alita was amazing. I loved
yeah,
Alita.
Alita was good, and that was a good
But you know why
adaptation.
it's good though? Because you have a
Rod,
visionary director. You have Robert Rodriguez. You need
yeah.
a director with some creative energy and unique style to make it work. It can't just be any ho hum director trying to like just make a regular live action thing. It needs to be fantastical. It needs to be taking a different approach. I know this might be controversial. I don't mind the Speed Racer movie,
There's
but you know
nothing
what?
wrong with the Speed Racer movie. That movie is fucking amazing.
Okay, because some people give me crap for liking that movie,
No,
but
people are dumb and their opinions should be ignored.
okay. But you know why that movie works? It's the Wachowskis. Why? Because they brought their own unique visual interpretation to that world and they made it stylistic. They added their own personal style to it.
Plus,
and made it an actual anime movie. You know?
Plus, it has John Goodman fighting ninjas.
Yes, it
I don't
does.
even
It's
care.
great.
And he's like, ninjas, more like nanjas, if you ask me. I love Speed Racer, dude, so much. That
Yeah,
movie.
but you know what though? That's the great with that movie. It embraced being silly. It embraced what it was. It knew what it was. It knew what it needed to be, and
Yeah.
it was faithful for that. It didn't care if it came across
the,
as
the
silly.
the the
It came from a
problem
place of genuineness.
the problem with Speed Racer is that Warner Brothers opened it the week after Iron Man.
Yeah, that was dumb of them.
That was like, but I think what it was is they weren't expecting Iron Man to be as big as it was, And it's all like what, like a BC grade character coming out in a
Yeah, who the
movie
hell's
that
this
no,
Iron Man?
yeah, with Downey Jr., who's had like a tumultuous career in the last couple of years. I mean, we got the Wachowskis coming out a couple of years after Matrix Reloaded and Matrix Revolutions, and this is a big, bright anime movie. I'll tell you this though, one of the first movies I ever saw on Blu-ray was Speed Racer,
Mm,
and on a big
I'm sure
screen
that was
TV.
mind blowing.
That was mind blowing. Like, I mean, that's one if they did a re-release, if
Please
they
do a
did like a
4K
re-release and they put in
remaster.
IMAX, I would go see it. I mean, for one, I love the movie. Two, it's just so beautifully made. It is like a live action anime, and that is, you're right, because of the visionary talent behind it.
That's what you need. You need
Yeah.
visionary directors
But at the
behind it.
same time, though, the concept of Speed Racer is also fundamentally, like, I'm gonna say, it's retarded. You
No, it
know,
is. It's
it
stupid.
is.
It's a
It's stupid.
stupid
It's so
concept.
stupid.
It's
But so
something
you can
only
take it.
it's something that could only ever work in a cartoon, but
Yeah.
they said, "Screw it, let's make a live action
Well,
cartoon."
but they treated it
Cartoony
like it's a
animal. Yeah.
cartoon, and that was fine. The problem with something like, let's say, Death Note is that Death Note takes itself too goddamn seriously
Yeah.
because it's a serious topic.
Yeah, it's a
It's a
serious
very
story.
serious story. So adding any kind of humorous element to it is going to vastly change.
And that's kind of the problem with Bebop as well. I don't want to talk about it too much.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I feel like the problem with that show especially is that in the effort to make it be mass appealing, it supplements some of the nuanced writing because Cowboy Bebop, while it is funny at times, absolutely, it tries to go for that Guardians of the Galaxy Edgar Wright style of humor that doesn't translate very well, in my opinion.
Now, okay, but you see, as a person who has not seen the anime, the only thing I've ever
That's what I'm
seen is
saying.
the
For you, you
movie.
might like it better.
Yeah, the movie I liked. I did like the movie. I saw it, but I don't remember much of it. I remember buying it when it came out and watching it one time and enjoying it, but because I'd never seen the show, it kind of lost me on that.
Mm.
And
It's a pretty decent standalone movie, though. You could watch that as a standalone movie and be fine, which I appreciate.
yeah, okay, because I do need to I need to give it a watch. But we got Moon here for $2, buddy. Thank you. Says my opinion should never be ignored ever. Command unit here. For another $2, buddy. Thank you. Says I am hopeful for a JoJo Hawk Netflix adaptation. Unfamiliar with that character.
I'm fucking terrified of the One Piece live action adaptation.
It's from the same company, though, RJ. It's from the same company as Cowboy Bebop.
That's why I'm fucking scared, man.
It's from the same company.
It's going to be so unbelievably cringe. I'm going to die. My soul is going to wither and go into a
It
ring
won't
of
be
fire.
that bad. It won't be that bad. They're just gonna be pirates doing pirate things.
It's too cartoony. You need to get like the Wachowskis in there to cartoon it the fuck up. There's no other way. You need somebody who will treat it as the goofy shit it is, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, like all right, and then Rational here at $5, buddy. Thank you. Says, do you guys think Leonardo DiCaprio's Robotech movie will be made? I didn't know
It depends on if the Gundam movie actually happens.
Isn't that one though? Is Robotech, is that Spielberg?
I don't remember.
Or was that like Robot Apocalypse or something along those lines?
I didn't know Leo was making a Robotech movie.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that at all. I don't see Leo doing something along those lines. Like he wouldn't put himself in a position, I don't think, to do something that's not going to be critically acclaimed. He's not a commercial guy.
Right. I think after Pacific Rim, I love Pacific Rim, but the sequel didn't do very well. I think they want to see how the Netflix Gundam movie does before they move into like Robotech and all that weird shit,
Yeah.
I think eventually they're gonna get like a live action Voltron movie eventually. So
I mean, that'd be kind of cool. They did the show on Netflix, which is really popular.
Yeah.
And I think Netflix is clearly going to be doing the Gundam thing, and obviously, look, the you can't argue or deny the popularity of anime. Like you just can't. The problem though
Which is
is that
why they just invest in making more anime and not
yeah,
adaptations of
well,
anime.
so last night when I was at the wedding, the very I think one of the last things I'd made a comment on was I looked at my sister and her husband and I said like the thing is my sister's a nerd, she's marrying a nerd, and that's great, and we can talk about like Star Wars and Mandalorian and everything else coming down the pipeline, and then I said and then I just kind of plainly said except anime because I'm a 40-year-old man. And
Seriously, I'm a 40-year-old man with kids. Who gives a fuck about
but the thing is, I made a crack about anime, and like they laughed at it. But then, like at the end of it, my sister's friend, she was like, she kind of comes up. She's like, "So what's your problem with anime?" I'm like, "I don't have a problem with anime. It's just a lot of." She's like, "No, but like, have you seen Demon Slayer?"
Hey, that's a good fucking show.
And I'm like, no. And she's like, you got to watch Demon Slayer. She's like, my boyfriend got me into it. We watched all of Demon Slayer. Like, what do you watch?
Demon
And I'm like,
Slayer's like been the most mainstream anime I've seen since probably My Hero
but
Academia.
what I laugh at though is it becomes that qualifying thing, right? It becomes that like, well, what have you seen that you don't like, and why don't you try this? And I'm normally not against that, to be honest with you. I always loved to gauge the reaction when I basically like laugh at anime fans because they get real angry, and I'm just trolling them, to be honest with you.
It's
Like,
very easy and funny to troll anime.
oh, dude, at Comic-Con when you mispronounce things, right? I was all like, I said anime, and this girl's like, it's pronounced anime, and then we said manga, and she's like, it's pronounced manga. We were literally in line for the fucking ATM.
You should have replied and said, it's pronounced fuck you.
It's pronounced cunt. Perhaps stop. It's like shit like that. It's just, but I've also gone to Comic-Con and trolled Twilight fans. So, like it is what it is, man. I always said that was kind of funny, but anyway, I don't think he's going to be in that one. But if you have any info on that, let me know, buddy. I'll take a look. But Moon here says, you rue the day. You will rue the day you ignored my opinions. Yep.
Wow.
Maybe.
Speaking of ignoring opinions, oh geez.
Let's look at a shitty one. Yeah, let's look at a shitty.
Okay, so just for context, Enosh is going to talk about this article on his stream, but it never happened tonight. So you're getting the jump on him a little bit. But I shared this with you because I was like, oh, he's going to be talking about this. And I was like, you should talk about it too eventually, if you're bored, right?
Well, for one,
I hate this article.
Gizmodo suck. I mean, well, okay, I will say this. Sometimes I like Gizmodo because they cover weird stories, like very obscure, odd stories that I dig. But when you get these kind of op-eds, I mean, it's at a point now where I kind of fucking hate op-eds.
Right. Well, here's the thing, right? The way I looked at this was the trailer came out, everybody loved it. How do we approach this trailer as a bad thing and try to make a negative spin out of it? And that's what I fucking hate about it.
Yeah, it's
initially there were some interesting good points in here. But the more I've read this article, because I read it a couple times, just because, like I said, Enos was going to talk about it, and I was like, oh, I want to be prepared so I know what we're talking about. The more I read it, the more I absolutely hate it, and I can't stand it. This article legit pissed me off. It really did.
All right, well, before we do into that, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go through this article, and then we're going to get in to the live call-ins. We'll take a few people tonight, and there's the link right there. It's also in the video description. Let me just make sure to pin that comment so you guys can find it, because I want to hear your thoughts or your opinions about what's going on with movies.
And after today, with all those TV spots, this article looks even stupider.
Yeah, well, and we'll take a look at the TV spots before you start bringing in the calls, because RJ did send me that as well. So there you guys go. Is the thing? Oh, hold on. H Bart's here with $5. Says Mo Moon is Neville Paperman. You'll run it. I don't know what that is. What is Neville Paperman?
I don't know.
I know Neville Longbottom, but that's from Harry Potter. So
it's a deep cut reference.
Maybe
it's not a paper joke.
I don't know what that is, but I appreciate you, H Bars. Thank you very much. Defoe forever. So this article here is coming to us from a gentleman by the name of Justin Carter, who I will probably hate by the end of it, who asks the question: is Spider-Man No Way Home a movie or an ego trip? Okay, I'm interested in his thesis. For better or for worse, each of the different phases of the Marvel Cinematic Universe has had a goal for its various films to strive for. The first brought our disparate heroes together, while the 2 and 3 showed them fracture and eventually reassemble for a saga of infinite proportions. Because nothing could really stand against the power of a global pandemic, 2020 threw Marvel's plans for Phase 4 out of whack, and in some cases out of order. But if the current crop of content for 2021 and Spider-Man No Way Home in particular tells us anything, it's that Phase 4 is more interested in stroking Marvel's ego than anything else. The fuck?
That is the tone it sets. That I read that blurb, I'm like, oh no.
I like, okay. I mean,
That is the thesis statement. The idea is that this movie is to stroke Marvel's ego. That is the thesis statement.
All right. Let's continue here. I'm gonna go in. No. No Way Home's recent trailer finally gave us our first real look at the assorted villains of Spider-Man's past. The most curious of this insidious near sextuplet aren't classic foes like Doc Ock and Green Goblin, but the lower run of cinematic Spidey baddies, Electro and Lizard from the short-lived Amazing Duology, and Spider-Man 3's Sandman, and potentially New Goblin.
Which is not New Goblin, that's Willem Dafoe, so.
Okay. Well, I mean, again, we have to wait to see it. I don't know. I'm going to keep running the hypothetical. I don't know till I watch it.
Try it and you'll see, but it's like he's
no, I think
villains, you know. So.
No, I get it. All right, let's see here. With X-Spiders, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire also may be waiting in the wings, so they can get in on some of that Keaton-like last hurrahs. Oh my god. Oh my god. Anyway, God, it's been a bad take night reading for some of these journalists. It's clear the aim is to give those old villains and potential heroes a chance to get it right. Such an objective has loudly hovered over Marvel and Sony joint custody like a weird smell, and No Way Home represents the most naked attempt at this yet. And unlike with comics, there's no real infusion of change, just a confidence bordering on straight up arrogance that it can skate by on giving fans what they've been demanding and poorly photoshopping for 3 years. I mean, if fans are asking for it and they can find a way to create the story and make it work, then what the fuck is the problem?
But see, Jarbo, that's the point. The point here is that there is no story with this movie. It's just about the arrogance of thinking they can pull this off.
If it was Sony, I would agree with that sentiment that it couldn't pull it off. But we're not there.
Yeah. Well, that's the point that he's trying to make, is that they believe that if they just throw these characters together, people are going to eat it up, and that's how arrogant they've gotten. That they don't care about the story.
I think that's ridiculous. I will say, though, this shot is like my favorite shot from the trailer.
Oh, yeah, it's really cool.
It's the way that it's shot. I just love, and
there's a lot of really good shots in a lot of the.
Oh no, they really upped their game. I think cinematically. But anyway, let's. All right. With the world having collectively said no thanks to Amazing Spider-Man 2, which is not actually true, it did gross more than the first Amazing Spider-Man, and actually
wasn't as big of a hit as Sony.
It outperformed, I believe, Guardians of the Galaxy back in 2014 as well. But yeah, they it wasn't a well-made movie. It still did well, but you're right. The two companies decided to start from scratch with Holland as the proper Spider-Man, saying they can do Spider-Man right. So many said back in 2015 when the deal was announced, because he was finally coming home, that Marvel has oversight over its biggest A-lister was enough reason for fans to take the company's side during the 2019 custody fight with Sony. All right, never mind that the quality of the content was good. Anyway,
I know.
I want to get through it before I just like yell at this guy, because this is a take.
Fucking horrible.
Yeah, never mind that. Okay, anyway. Lest we have no more crossovers or references to other Avengers, keep in mind this came after the success of both Spider-Verse and the original Venom. All right, and it's now funnier since Venom 2 has done pretty dang good as well. And sure, the first two home films are solid, and Holland is quite good in both of them. But the high points of those movies can't hide how superficial the notion is that these films outclass their immediate predecessor. 2 solo movies and 3 crossovers continuously highlight how incredibly toothless this Peter is compared to those who came before him, and even the ones who proudly stands beside. Anything like character development or an overarching statement about who Peter is has been granted to his other trilogy veterans like Tony Stark and Steve Rogers are nowhere to be found here. Oh my fucking god.
So basically, the complaint here is that first off, the fans were wrong for saying that Marvel's going to get Spider-Man right when they got him. And he's throwing like shade at Marvel, say, well, Spider-Verse and Venom, both Venom movies did good without Marvel, so it's funnier in hindsight. And now it's
Never
about,
mind, they
oh,
still
his
required.
version of the character sucks. Tom Holland's version
Yeah,
sucks,
the fact that
basically.
he's toothless, calling him toothless. Never mind, he's a kid. He's actually being portrayed as a high schooler.
By the way, this article never mentions how Tom Holland has said this movie's the darkest of the three, how it's supposed to evolve him into being Spider-Man, right? There's none of that mentioned here. It's just about, oh, this version of
Yeah,
the character sucks.
they talk about
Okay.
character development, yet completely overlooking the entire aspect of what was in Far From Home.
Mm.
Was about Peter making those choices and not needing to rely on Tony. It was learning to, it was mourning the death of a father figure and a
Like I said,
mentor.
it reeks of cynicism to an overt degree.
Oh yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
guy just woke up with like the most massive hate boner for Marvel and said, "Let me just write some shit." You know,
This
it's
is like
like,
this is like a guy woke up and was all like fails to understand how Marvel has become the predominant most popular thing on the planet. All right, there's a lot to tear apart here. On its own, it would be a bitter but tolerable pill to swallow. But if it's part of a larger Marvel trend of overcorrecting to the point of desperation, I'm sorry, what?
yeah,
And
this is where it gets even worse.
overcorrecting to the point of okay,
The-
fine. Let's see what he says. Let's see what he says. All right, it's a bad take, but give me a solid. WandaVision needed to do the work to make that relationship feel real in the way that the Infinity Saga sure as hell didn't. But even in its best moments, Black Widow feels like a late, awkward apology. Shang-Chi is making the Mandarin a tragic figure who easily carries the whole film was needed, as was bringing back Iron Man 3's fake Mandarin to mock, but keeping Trevor around for the rest of the film felt like a studio trying to have its cake and eat it too. Even if well-intentioned, these moments come off as goofy as best, or worst, needlessly self-congratulatory. The
what the
the
fuck does that even
I
mean?
don't even know what that means.
What?
It's patting itself on the back for like, hey, we referenced ourselves. Trevor Slattery coming back in Shang-Chi
It
again.
fit the
Spoiler.
story.
It absolutely fit the story. It was excellent that he was in it, and I love that
And
it was
guess what?
like,
He worked as great comedic relief too when he needed it.
yeah, and you needed something. Yeah, Aquafina was one character, he was another character, and it also was like it just kind of it was funny because it
Yeah.
shows
Well,
you.
here's the thing: if you didn't have Trevor Slattery as a major focal point of that second half of the movie, I think something would have been missing because not having that connection to Iron Man 3 would have felt weird.
It would have felt weird, yeah. And then I also liked how like he goes like, "Oh, I was going to die, but then blank happens," and then I won't say what it is, but then he's like, and then I've just been here ever since, and it's like, but it's like he found purpose in that moment too, and then when you listen to the actual Mandarin talk about everything, and again, it creates these characters that become a little bit more dimensional. They become a little bit
Right.
more fleshed out. They're less like, yeah, sure, Trevor is comic relief and whatever, but you also kind of realize like there's been a lot done to him, you
Yeah,
know.
well, it's just odd to look at, like, for example, the Mandarin or making a Black Widow movie or doing something like WandaVision and saying that it's part of Marvel's arrogance and their ego trip. Where it's like, no, it's giving fans what they want and filling in gaps to better their storytelling.
And it's also allowing them the opportunity to spend that time to establish Wanda as a villain in Doctor
Mhm.
Strange and why she might do what she did. It allows that time
Yeah.
to bond with this is the thing. This
What is wrong with going back and fixing what is perceived as mistakes?
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
like
sure what
it.
the problem with
I
that
don't.
is either.
I mean, wasn't Endgame all about that? Wasn't Endgame about literally going back through time and to fix that shit? It's utterly ridiculous in my mind.
See,
To
because could you not argue, Matt, though, that if they really were on an ego trip and they were arrogant, which I'm sure there's a hint of arrogance, you have to be in this business, obviously. But if it was really an idea of arrogance and ego, wouldn't it be more egocentric of them to admit to say we never made any mistakes and we're not going to bother fixing it, just deal with it and take what we give you?
yeah, I
'Cause they didn't have to bring Trevor Slattery back. They didn't have to do the Shang-Chi movie. They could have said, that's our Mandarin, sorry. but they didn't. They
No, they took it and they went like, okay, let's have a little bit of fun. And that's what they do in the situations. Now, Yvonne here makes a great point. Maybe that article writer didn't see the one shot All Hail the King, which is a great little one shot. It's now finally on Disney Plus. You should check it out.
yeah,
And
it's
it
really
gives
good. It's really good.
I really want them to bring back one shots.
They
But
need to.
I kind of feel like the Disney Plus series are just really they're all like one shots. And that's fine with me, but they're longer and they have more fun with them. And so this is yeah, oh my God. All right, what else
We're
it
almost
says
done.
here?
We're almost done.
We're almost done. This is very frustrating. Okay, so it's all for the fans, a phrase that will wear out its welcome long before the Fantastic Four and Mutants. I'm going to stab this guy with a fork. That for the, oh my God, does it, anyway, I'm trying to keep it. Under the Marvel Studios banner, those reboots won't be able to help themselves in redoing past events and reusing characters that weren't as favored in Fox's hands. Sure, you finally get Doctor Doom the way you want, and Galactus is in a cloud again, but is it worth having to deal with an eventual third go at the Phoenix Saga? If we've already tried seeing if we're already tired of seeing the Waynes being shot, that's got to be a close second or third by now. Well, no, because seeing the Wayne shot still has the same outcome,
Mhm.
right?
Well, again, he's under the assumption, oh, Marvel's getting these Fox characters, and they're gonna do it like it's the idea they're doing it for the fans, right? They're gonna fix all the mistakes. It's like we have no clue what their intentions are. I don't think they're gonna touch the Phoenix Saga, and if they do, I'm sure they have a good reason for doing
If they're
so.
going to touch the Phoenix Saga, guess when it's going to happen?
It'll actually be
Down the
good.
road, like 15 years.
Yeah, a long time away.
Long time down the road is when, like, if they introduce Jean
If at all.
Grey,
If at all.
yeah, they're not. And here's the thing: if they do the Phoenix Saga, guess where they're probably going to end up doing it? Disney Plus. It's
Yeah,
probably
probably.
not going to, because they're just going to put it there, but they're going to, because the Phoenix Saga, look, the Phoenix Saga is an interesting thing, but I think it's interesting more in theory than it is in practice.
Well, that's why I'm confused by Justin Carter here. Is he basically saying that they should never try and redo mistakes from other studios?
I think
That
what
it
he's
makes them
saying
look
is,
bad?
well, I think what he's saying is like, either he doesn't want them to go backwards, he wants them to go forward. But at the same time, it's like, look, the fans are now asking, like, look, we want to see these characters done right. And I know when it comes to Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom has kind of been there with every one of the movies as well. This would be like our technical, like, third iteration of the character and everything. But it's like Galactus as a fucking cloud is kind of weird.
Well,
And
yeah,
people,
those characters were never done right in the first place. It's not like we had a good version of Doctor Doom. It's like, well, you're gonna kind of repeat the past and try it
yeah,
again.
yeah, it
Like,
was really
no, there was
weird.
never a good version, so why not do it what the fans have wanted, do a proper adaptation?
It's very stupid in my mind. This guy, he doesn't get anything. All right. So it says here that, okay. Do you want these characters you grew up with to be given a better hand, or do you just want them to want to bring them up without having to add caveats as sequel era or prequel era Star Wars fans had to do up until fairly recently? Well, when the studio is high on its own bullshit is often when it's at its worst, and those two properties will see them so high they'll be touching Mars. Oh my god. So listen, the thing with the prequels is they got better with age. I think because a lot of people who watched them when they were younger maybe finally understood what the hell they were about. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe you can finally, when you understand, when you get to a point in your life when you actually get
Mm.
more about politics and you see what Lucas was attempting to do. You not just you were told what he was attempting to do, but you actually watch it and you
See,
can.
that's why I'm confused. Can you explain to me why he's bringing up the prequels and what he means by those last two sentences? Because I don't get it. I'm
What
not
he's
sure what he's
saying
trying
here,
to
what he's
say.
saying here effectively is that by the time Lucas did the prequel trilogy, he was so high on his own supply. He was so surrounded by yes men, and the popularity of Star Wars has like never been higher. Blah blah blah. That he didn't. He shit it out is what they did. Not the
So he's
fans.
implying Marvel's going to do the same.
He's implying that because in this person's opinion, George Lucas crapped out the prequel trilogy and fans just forgave him for it and then had to go in and like cherry pick caveats out of it in order to be able to put the argument like, well, yeah, that sucked. But like, it's like go back, like, let's say like the Phantom Menace. Go, yeah, Jar Jar sucked, but the pod racing was cool, and like, look, that's fine. That's
Or
opinions.
this aspect of Attack of the Clones sucked, but did you watch Clone Wars and makes it better or something?
Yeah, but again, like that's okay. You can sit there and go, look, Attack of the Clones may not be your favorite movie. The Clone Wars show builds off of that, but then also sets up Revenge of the Sith. And so it gives you a nice mid story that you don't necessarily need if you don't want it, but it's there. And like, that's fine. This guy doesn't understand what he's talking about. He's like
Well, that's why it's so frustrating to read, because I'm sure there's a conversation to be had about what he's trying to say, but the way he's going about it is so negative and cynical that it just comes across as being a hateful prick.
Kind of. Protoss here says Nerderotic said there's only 3 Star Wars films, and I agree with him. Nerderotic is wrong about practically everything. I heard that little screed of his. It got shared around Twitter the other day.
There's only 3 Star Wars films.
There's only 3 Star Wars films, 6 if you prefer. There's only 2 Alien movies. There's only this, there's only that. There's only 3 Indiana Jones films.
Only
it's
2
like
Terminator films.
So explain to me how being a fucking gatekeeper is a good thing. All right, because that's exactly what he's trying to argue there. Because all his entire modus operandi is being a hateful prick. That's all he can do, and he fucking knows it. And so no, there are 9. No, there's not just 9 Star Wars films. There's fucking 11 Star Wars films. And you know what? Not everyone is good. Not everyone is good, but there's still a lot more good than bad. Because I'm sorry, Rogue fucking One is the shit. I love Solo. I love Attack of the Clones. I love Revenge of the Sith. I love the original trilogy. I love The Force Awakens. I fucking adore The Force Awakens. I will watch that anytime. The other 2, mileage will vary. But I will at least go back and watch the prequels. I'll go back and watch The Phantom Menace again and go, you know what? It's not the best, but I can get into it. And I like the other 2 movies now that I've looked at them through a different lens, because guess what? Unlike that emotionally stunted mongoloid over there on Nerderotic, I can at least look at past movies from a different lens of being maybe a little bit older now and maybe a bit less of a clouded mindset at the time, maybe a little bit of, whatever he was on. I don't know. I don't judge, but whatever. But you can go back and look at things and understand what the creator's intent was at the time and what they were trying to say. And if you don't go back and do that, that of course is something that shows a stunted growth on your part. What this guy here is trying to argue is that they shouldn't ever go back and reevaluate what came before in order to build towards the future, to actually give the fans what they want, which is, guess what? A completed fucking story. That's the difference here, right? Like, that's the thing, is like Fantastic Four, 3 instances of those movies have fucking come out, and each one has been panned critically because it felt like I like the Tim Story movies, to be honest with you. I do. I enjoy them. I think they're fun, pulpy things. They're campy.
They're okay. I mean, they're not. I used to hate them, but compared to
I don't know. You know what? Michael Chiklis as Ben Grimm is
the best part.
Chris Evans as Johnny Storm. All right, Jessica Alba is I've had a thing for Jessica Alba, since the 90s. So like, that's not going to change. But at the same time, my whole argument here is like, I enjoyed those movies for what they were. Are they perfect? No. Are they harmless? Absolutely. 2015's reboot was a god awful fucking film.
Oh, it's
and that suffered so much from studio interference and everything else that it was just terrible. And that is the legacy. That is the last film we have with those characters. And so, yeah, they need to go back and fix it.
That sucks. They should come back. They should rectify that and do an adaptation of those characters that will be universally, hopefully, better and more loved. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Gavin here says Nerderotic is so wrong about Amazon's Lord of the Rings, but that's another story. Oh yeah, like when he tried to argue that they're going to put in critical race theory into Lord of the Rings.
Critical race theory.
Never mind critical race theory. Whenever they say that, really translate to Caucasian replacement theory, because that's what they're arguing effectively. That's what they're arguing when they say shit like that. They're saying this is white people going bye-bye. No, the only one out there we know killing whiteys is Kyle Rittenhouse, who just got off with it. So there we go. There's my bad joke for the night.
Drop that in there. Wow.
I'm just gonna drop it in, man. Anything goes here.
Let's read the rest of this article before we piss.
I don't want to.
It's one last paragraph.
I know it's so bad. Saying here, finally, thank God. There will surely be some fun in watching the 3 spiders and maybe other multiverse visitors fighting the beta version of the Sinister Six. But at the moment, it doesn't feel like No Way Home exists to further Peter's story or really, or even really celebrate the history of Spider-Man as a character. It
Bullshit.
feels more like Marvel lording over Sony, that Marvel Studios gets the praise and adoration for including these previously used characters and villains, and not the company who just happens to currently own the rights. And if they're going to get into a dick measuring contest, the least they could do is have it behind closed doors.
Oh my god.
Okay. So here's the thing with that.
Basically, that he's saying that Marvel is just wanting the credit for this movie over Sony, and that this movie doesn't exist to further Peter Parker's story. When that's a fucking lie, when we know what Tom Holland's been talking about lately. Doesn't even bring it up once.
No, I know. Oh, I know. I know for a fact, man. It's just that of course is just the craziness of the situation where you've got, look, the Spider-Man character. A lot of people love the Raimi trilogy because it's great. It's a great thing there. This character development.
I don't think this Holland trilogy was ever approached the mindset of let's be better than the other two versions.
No,
you could argue the mindset was let's not be as bad as Amazing Spider-Man 2. You could argue that, but it wasn't then again, let's be a replacement. You know,
but here's the fucking thing though. If Sony was happy with what they did, they wouldn't have engaged in the deal with Marvel. Yeah. If they were happy about where Spider-Man was going and what they had access to, they would not have gone into the deal.
We need help.
Exactly. They clearly were like, we have the rights to these characters, which does that. What does that fucking mean? All that means is that they spent the money. I think they bought it for $97 million is what they paid for that. Right. They bought it for a paltry sum, so to speak. Mm. And, so they paid the money for it. They own it. That doesn't mean that they know what the fuck to do with it. Right. That doesn't mean anything. That's such a weird ass argument to make. It's like, yeah, is it going to be cool seeing the three Spider-Men together? Absolutely. Is it going to be cool to see the other multiverse versions, the variants of those other bad guys? Absolutely. But the thing with that,
though, it's still a Peter Parker story.
It's still a Peter Parker story. Yeah. Exactly. And there's also been like, if they go back to the 90s animated show, there's like fucking other universes and shit. Right? Like that's always been a staple.
I just really was pissed off by that article because it reeks of cynicism and not understanding everything. And it's just trying again. I hate the idea of this trailer that came out that everyone really liked to a movie everyone's very excited for. Let's look at this. Let's look at it from the most negative standpoint we can, just to shit on it. That's what I really don't like about it.
Yeah. No. I know. It's going to be just a damn thing, but there is something there that's cool to consider. And that is actually something that I want to take a look at before we get into the calls. I see we have a couple people that are in the back there and one apparently special guest. Maybe.
I don't think it is, but
I don't think it is either. In fact, I think I know who it is. But we'll have to wait and see. But in the meantime, they've been dropping a whole bunch of Spider-Man.
There's like 9 TV spots that dropped today or something.
Yeah, and they dropped a lot. So they were edited together.
Yeah, this is all of them in one video. There's a really cool one that I'll point out later. I fucking loved it. I lost my mind watching it. It's really cool.
So this should be something that would be... Is that in this trailer?
It's part of this.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen this yet, so let's... Okay, well, yeah, let's give it a go.
Looks like we got competition.
I'll fix this, but I'm gonna need some help.
Let's catch some multiverse men.
Just run it by us next time you break the universe.
Deal.
Spider-Man. You're not Peter Parker.
I am so confused right now.
That spell that you botched started pulling in visitors from every universe.
The multiverse is real?
They all die fighting Spider-Man.
There has to be another way!
There isn't. They're a danger to our universe.
This is all my fault. I can't save everyone.
Spider-Man, No Way Home. In theaters, December 17th.
What's happening?
They're starting to come through and I can't stop them.
When you're thinking, I'm about to do something that could break the universe,
I know you!
run it by us.
We need to send them back.
You're not gonna take this away from me.
You're flying out into the darkness to fight Ghost.
What do you mean?
They all die fighting Spider-Man. I'm sorry, kid.
Yeah, me too.
Don't.
There has to be another way!
There isn't.
Spider-Man, No Way Home. I underestimated you, Peter.
Do I know you?
Looks like we got competition.
We started getting some visitors. In their universe, they all die fighting Spider-Man. I'm sorry, kid.
Yeah, me too.
Don't.
There has to be another way.
There isn't.
What's happening?
They're starting to come through. I can't stop them.
Spider-Man, No Way Home.
Ever since I got bit by that spider, I've only had 1 week where my life has felt normal. That was when you found out.
Peter?
That spell that you botched, it started pulling in visitors from every universe.
What's happening?
They're starting to come through.
I really like
I
to use
can't
that
stop
line a
them.
lot.
Spider-Man,
Yeah.
No Way Home. In theaters, December 17th.
Oh, this is the one. This is the one.
Hello, Peter.
Do I know you?
You think your fancy new suit's gonna save you? Looks like we got competition.
I
that-
fucking love that one.
That's
because
I did see that one earlier. That
that
was
one's
really great.
fucking great. Okay, so there's a lot of little blurbs in there. Like you see Electro wearing like a Stark reactor, which is weird. And you have, I find it interesting that Alfred Molina's talking to this Peter as if he's Toby because he doesn't know. He's like, "Oh, I got a new suit." And he sees the best part though is when he sees the arms and he's like, "Well, I got some competition now." I fucking love that line. I think it looks so goddamn cool. There's some really like. It's a lot of the same footage, but there's a lot of like new stuff interspliced with that stuff we've seen before. Like I think there was one, it wasn't part of that, but there was one where J. Jonah Jameson sees the lizard. He's like, "Is that a dinosaur?"
Yeah,
Why
I
did
saw.
they do that
I
so
did
much?
see that one. Yeah, that was floating around. I think like the thing is, I get it with the massive amounts of TV spots they're doing. It makes a lot of sense because that's obviously
Yeah,
'cause
the
I-
marketing
what-
push has begun.
Well, oh, absolutely. Because the tickets go on sale in 8 days, right? The 29th?
No, yeah, the 29th, yeah. Spider Monday.
Spider-Man, Jesus. Yeah, that's gonna blow up the internet. That's gonna be the biggest thing ever. And so as we now come into the last probably about 30 minutes of everything, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see about 6 people in the back. Gives people a couple minutes here at a time. So first up, I want to bring in. He's been waiting a while, been patient. Ladies and gentlemen, you might know him, you might not, but Andrew Casali is here.
Hello.
How's it going, man?
Going good.
Cool. So there's a little bit of feedback on your end. Can you put on some headphones or?
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, no, I can hear myself.
Very funny.
No, I mean that literally.
Yeah, you can literally hear ourselves talking, Andrew.
Yeah, so you have the speakers on and they're picking up your microphone. Okay, now you're just muted, I think.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
All right. How's this?
No.
Yeah, we still hear it.
Do you have I think it's echo cancellation turned on in the settings?
I don't know what that is, but okay.
If you click on cam mic and go to settings, it should be there.
Camera.
Or do you just
Yeah, just mute when you're not talking.
mute yourself when you're not talking, yeah. Okay, well, I guess we should first say what is it you want to quickly talk about?
I thought those TV spots were cool.
Yeah, no, they were great.
Yeah, I mean, like, get to see the Doc Ock going all crazy on him. He's like, and it makes me think like, when we see Doc Ock, he's gonna, since this is the same one for Spider-Man 2, that the bridge scene is gonna be his first scene.
It's probably going to happen pretty quick. Like right after like they do the spell.
Yeah, and I think that each of these villains are pulled before their death, like Green Goblin before the glider kills him, Doc Ock right after he drowns the tritium.
There was a scene I saw floating around that supposedly was the intro.
Oh, really?
I think Jarbo's connection drops. Give him a second.
Oh, okay.
Dead silence. No, but I like the TV spots as well. They look pretty cool. So, yeah, just a couple more days so I get to buy tickets.
Yeah,
and the ticket sites are probably gonna crash. I'm gonna have a hard time getting them, but
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, there you are.
Okay.
So you were saying?
Stupid. I was just saying that I think they're going to be fighting on the bridge after the spell.
Yeah. And it's cool that it's kind of funny that Green Goblin. Since I know he's got the same armor from the same Raimi film, but he's got the mask too, even though he's pulled before his death.
Yeah, they're probably going to end up doing a fair amount with that just to, I mean, I don't know when they're going to be pulling it, but I don't think it really matters, to be honest with you.
Yeah, as long as I hope we get an appearance from a certain someone, I'll be happy.
I mean, everyone thinks that he's there. So I'm not trying to get my hopes up until I know for certain.
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing today Daniel Rickman saying that Toby and Andrew are gonna have a important part in the movie. Like they're gonna show up like in the second half and have 30 minutes of screen time.
See, that's such a rough estimate, though. It's hard to like calculate that. Really, it's just guesses on everyone's part.
Yeah, but all in all, like, fun thing enough, I know I said my thoughts on Tom Holland for a while, but seeing with this new movie, it's actually the first time I'm actually looking forward to a Tom Holland movie.
Well, I mean, is it because Tobey Maguire might be in it?
That's one of them, but also this whole multiverse stuff.
That will be fascinating to see how that goes.
Yeah, because it feels like the first half of this movie and the rest of it is like two separate films. Because the first half, it's all about the whole Mysterio identity thing and maybe Charlie Cox is Matt Murdock, and then this other half is about the multiverse.
I'm hoping. I don't know what they plan on doing with it yet. I'm concerned that they might be trying to do too much, but they've earned enough goodwill with me to where I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah. But all in all, like, can't wait. Hope to see my guy. And let's do it.
All right, man. Well, hey, thanks for coming by, and we'll talk again soon. All right.
All right. See ya.
Thanks, you, Andrew. All right, Andrew Casale, everybody, big Toby fan, huge Toby fan. Expect there to be an actual like reaction from him if Toby's in the movie, where he will be crying.
He will be filming himself in the theater, probably.
Yes. And you know what? That's actually, I think, like, that's the one reaction I want to see, if I'm being honest with you. Because I know he's been talking it up for months. So that would be cool. I'm not going to lie. That'd be cool to see. So, all right. Classy Ulysses, what's going on, man? Retro. Classy.
Hello?
Retro shit. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there you are, buddy. How's it going?
Nothing much. How's it going, guys?
Going pretty good. So we're kind of on unfortunately, rapid mode time tonight. So what is the subject you want to talk about?
Let's talk about some anime, guys. Come on.
Oh, Jarbo's favorite subject. Let's go.
Since the Cowboy Bebop live action just came out 3 nights ago, and One Piece live action is coming out soon.
Yeah,
are you guys a little afraid?
I'm not, because I don't watch that stuff.
You should be afraid. You should be very afraid.
I'm never afraid of an adaptation, or I may not like it, but I'm never afraid of it.
I am terrified of it because they don't.
Why? How does it take away from what you've already seen?
It doesn't take away. I'm just saying it's going to be nightmare inducing because there's no way it's going to translate into live action where it doesn't look absolutely fucking terrifying.
But what if they do?
Then I'll.
That's always hat
Jarbo, but
you got to eat your hat. Yeah, whatever. I'm not saying. Look, I'm not saying, because it's hard to argue that in regards to a personal opinion. I don't know if it's going to be good or bad. I don't know if the One Piece stuff, or I know Netflix is doing that because they obviously want to get in on that market. What they should do, I think, would be better by just having just making more of the same. Of like, maybe do like a One Piece movie that's a Netflix exclusive sort of thing, but they obviously, some company went and optioned the rights, and then that company took its pitch to Netflix, and Netflix said, hey, listen, we think there's some stuff here, so why don't we do it? I mean, are you freaking out as much about the Avatar: The Last Airbender that's filming right now?
Fuck yeah, I am.
No. I wasn't even a big fan of that show when I was a kid. I was more of a Yu-Gi-Oh! And Naruto back then.
Nerd.
I'll just say this.
I'm kidding.
I will just
So-
say this. It's a bad fucking sign that the creators of the show left and said, these people are whack and they're doing some wacky shit. We're gonna leave and we're gonna do our own thing.
Yeah, well, they talked Paramount into opening up an Avatar studio. So I also kind of wonder if that was something that was in the conversation prior. You know what I mean? Where it's like they were like, they're like, oh no, leave that, come over here, and we'll establish a whole new studio division within our company that's going to allow you to do Avatar shows and Avatar movies and things like that.
Maybe.
So I mean, because Paramount is, I mean, look, was it on Wednesday?
Avatar Studios was going to do live action and animation, so.
Well, there you go. But I think after if this live action show tanks, just like the movie tanked back in 2010, then they're probably not going to go back and do live action. Just because why would they attempt it again if it's already gone to shit so many times?
That's very true.
That's the question. So, there's that one. But I mean, like, look, I think it's like, I'm not big in, like, I'll watch some anime. I don't dive into the culture, obviously, but if it's a good story, I want to check it out. And I hear, like, some of these shows are just so, I kind of view, like, isn't One Piece at like 1,000 episodes?
1,308?
Yeah.
They just hit episode 1,000 yesterday. It was a big celebration. They had banners in New York City.
So
think
about that though, dude. These are what, 22-minute episodes, 30-minute episodes, right?
Yeah, 22.
22-minute. How much time investment is that?
It's
to
a
get
lot.
caught up. That's a lot of time investment.
It's been a global powerhouse franchise for over like 20 plus years. The manga is at chapter like 1031 or something. I mean, it's been going on since like the late 90s. Right?
Yeah.
Like One Piece is so popular. They have theme parks in Japan. It is the biggest media franchise in that country. It is so huge around the world, especially in like markets like Brazil and Europe, especially. I understand why there's an eagerness from Netflix to adapt it. I'm just saying it's a little scary.
They got some pretty weird designs, to be honest.
Well, it's very cartoony is the problem. Like, Cowboy Bebop, I can understand some look at that saying, okay, this can work as live action because it's not overly anime, right? It's why something like Naruto might not work because that's anime. One Piece is, like, by design, very cartoony, right? It has a very cartoony design standpoint. It's a very cartoony world,
Yeah.
It's not something you can easily say, oh, this is a one-to-one live action kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Are they planning on doing a Naruto live action?
From Lionsgate, yes.
Oh my God. I mean, like, remember when that whole thing happened? I think it was last year with Area 51 and all those guys showed up doing the Naruto run and stuff. It's like that made it to the news.
Now you can do the Naruto run in Fortnite.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I mean, Fortnite, look, Fortnite is like
they even got the anime studio to do artwork for them.
Oh my God. That just goes to show you how much fucking money those guys make. I mean, I'll say about here's only my experience with Naruto. And you're a fan of the show, Classy, like the localized version with the dubbing?
Yeah, I watched the both sub and dub.
Okay, so the guy who played Guy Sensei, Skip Skelrecht?
Yeah.
I wrote a short film that he starred in back in 2007 that we shot at my house in San Diego.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I might give it a go.
Yeah, if you can find it, it's on my my Matt Jarbo, Disciple 87, DECPILE or DECIPLE 87 on YouTube. It's called Crew. You can find it on there if you want to check that out. It's only like 7 minutes long. It's pretty funny. I like it. But hey, man, I gotta let you go. I still got like a bunch of people to get to, and I appreciate everyone coming. I appreciate you coming on by, buddy. Thank you.
All right, take care and have a good night.
Thank you very much. Real quick here, Ron with $10 super chat, buddy. Thank you so much. Saying here, my favorite film year, 1982, Mad Max, Tron, The Thing, Blade Runner, Superman 2, Rocky 3, First Blood, etc. What is your favorite 1980s year?
82.
80. I mean, well, here's the thing. I was born in March of 82. So and you also forgot E.T. that year as well.
What year did Ghostbusters come out? Wasn't that also
84? That came out in 84. 84. And then also I see here he doesn't have on the 82, he doesn't have Wrath of Khan either. So, I mean, as far as 80 years ago, or as far as the 80s,
man, could you imagine living during that time? All those movies
dude,
coming out.
E.T., Blade Runner, The Thing, Wrath of Khan were all in theaters at the same time.
That's crazy to think about.
That's nuts to think about, dude. 80, 80. Blade Runner and The Thing opened on the same day. On the same day.
Didn't Blade, because E.T. wasn't it like the summer of E.T. because E.T. beat out
E.T. had already come out. Yeah, E.T. had come out. E.T. was not, so the weekend that Blade Runner and The Thing came out, the E.T. was number 1, Blade Runner was number 2, and I think The Thing was like number 9 with like very little money. You know, yeah. Well, it's kind of like it just
wasn't. I know it didn't do very well, but damn.
It became a cult. It became a cult classic after time. You know what I mean? So who knows? Maybe down the road we'll end up finding out more about some stuff. Anyway, thank you very much for that one, Ron. I did see that Josh, the Zeros to Heroes, was in there. I saw he left. He comes back. We'll get him on in. But apparently, so here's this person that has an interesting Abby in the chat, and I'm curious to see what's going on here. Apparently, the Lord of the Underworld, El Señor Doom Copo, is here.
That Jarble, we finally meet.
Sure. Sound kind of weird there. You got a frog in your throat.
I got a frog in my throat?
Yeah, or maybe a cock. I don't know. Whatever you're into.
That's not what I'm into. I don't like woke garbage like you.
Did you see? You sound like Kylo Ren in a mask. Are you wearing a Kylo Ren mask? Is that what you're doing through right now? Are you doing through a Kylo Ren? You sound like Kylo Ren.
Your voice quality is so low, Mr. Doomcock.
Yeah, it's so low. Can you speak louder?
Have anyone identify who I am with my voice?
You don't really sound like Doomcock though.
Where's Harvey?
Yeah, do a Harvey voice.
He's doing other stuff, taking down Kathleen Kennedy, Kevin Feige.
Okay. When did Doomcock not sound American?
Because I am European.
But Doomcock is well. Now, don't get me wrong. Well, while I believe that he does espouse European fascist beliefs under an alt account, he himself is an American.
I am many different things.
Yes, you might be, but you are definitely not Doomcock.
Are you sure of that?
Uh-huh. I'll tell you what. If I can prove it, what will you give me?
I will give you the files of Kathleen Kennedy getting fired.
Okay. I mean, I'd prefer money, but that's fine. I'll take that. Okay. So hold on here. Let me just. I have to work some magic, right? I have to work a little bit of magic here. Doing my YouTube detective work here to make sure
looks
that.
Like Harvey needs me. Gotta go.
Yeah.
Bye, Doomcock.
Bye.
Saggy.
That wasn't saggy.
No,
I can prove it.
Oh.
It was Rational Skeptic. Because he had to authenticate to come on in. So I know that it was Rational Skeptic the entire time.
That was good, man.
That was good. That was a nice try, buddy. Command Unit here asking, don't forget my super chat, the 5-month free super chat. Yeah, that's true, man. It doesn't pop up on StreamYard.
We can't see
it. So thank you for telling me. I did see it here, asking the question. After all this time, do you think Warhammer can go mainstream if it didn't already, with Cavill mentioning it regularly, plus a cameo on Archer? Around it, the culture war will definitely be raging for eternity. I mean, look, man, like I got an email today that Warhammer, like, was it Total War 3 or whatever? That Warhammer RTS is like coming out pretty soon. So and then you've shared a whole bunch of game trailers, right? So obviously when it comes to that, the idea here is that it is popular enough to where there's fucking
seems like a really high profile,
but there's stores. RJ, there are stores dedicated entirely to Warhammer.
I know, but I think you might just need the console market, especially to.
Well, the console market can do it, but what it needs is a show. It needs a show that can go out and really make it work. And it needs something. It needs to do an animated movie. I'm telling you that Soda's guy needs to do an animated movie.
So
where it's
basically, the people who made Arcane need to do it.
yeah, they need the
Arcane,
Netflix.
by the way, is fucking amazing.
I need to watch it. I know it's
so fucking good.
it's I hear it's really good. But it's like, no, that's what they should do. They should team up with Netflix, put it out as a multi, as a seasonal thing, or like maybe a limited event to tell a story, and that would open it up. I mean, look, if League of Legends has brought 2 animated series to Netflix this year, Dragon's Dogma, I believe, is on there as a show. Castlevania's got the series. They're doing a whole bunch of other stuff. Splinter Cell is getting a show. There's no reason why by bringing an animated Warhammer series to Netflix should not already be on the table. But then again, as I think when you first started promoting the Warhammer stuff and showing us, there was that whole thing with Games Workshop and doing their Warhammer Plus or whatever it was called, their service that's supposed to have original content there. And I feel like that might be where it pigeonholes itself, because if you're not expanding it outward, how are you going to be able to sell it down the road? Eventually you're going to peak. And I feel like going to Netflix or fuck it, dude, Warhammer, maybe Amazon would be good for that. Because they seem to be catering.
It's be a good match.
Yeah. So I think there's stuff to do there. I think it can go mainstream. It's got a cool enough idea. I think the problem though is that because it's so massive that it might be hard to you have to kind of start small and build outward.
More time.
Yeah, and that's why it's a series, not a movie. I think a Warhammer movie would not be a good idea, but I definitely am down to see a movie of some kind or a TV show of some kind. So let's see. John here says Warhammer 40K is proof that a cocaine writing binge still exists and it works. Sure, why not? I ruined your cover. No, did you use a Kylo Ren though? I told you I was going to expose you, buddy. I told you I was going to expose you. So, all right, here, let's get into, we got a few people left to get to. We got Zeros to Heroes. Josh, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, Matt? How you doing?
I'm doing okay, dude. Long time no talk. How you been?
Oh, it's been a bit. I'm doing all right. Yeah, had a stream tonight. It was fun. Just
nice.
To come on, say hi. And yeah, I was watching that. I was listening to you're talking about the that dude in talking about Spider-Man. What the fuck mushrooms was that dude on?
A lot of them, apparently.
Very, very, very much. Just watched Ghostbusters Afterlife second time today with Mom. Very, very funny. Absolutely hilarious. Loved it. Did Harold Ramis proud in that movie.
Nice. Unlike, I didn't hate the Harold Ramis reference in 2016.
It was cute.
It was cute. It was cute. I mean, like they needed to do something, and I think given the travesty that movie was, that was probably like the best way, because deep down Paul Feig was probably like, okay, so what if we, and hear me out here, guys, what if we made Harold Ramis a ghost, and what if we had him in like the whole ghost parade scene with like the Stay Puffed, right? Like he comes to life and he's just like, they have to pop Harold Ramis. Won't the fans love that? The fans would love that if they take out Egon. I don't know.
Was that a real idea they had for that movie?
No, but you can look at that movie and think to yourself,
I mean,
maybe it was. Maybe it was at some point. I have no idea, but I'm just saying, like, you can look at how they want to do that and go, yeah, that's pretty terrible. I mean, like, look, the reason, like, 2016 crashed and burned so bad, Sony allowed a whole new company to pop up out of it. The Ghost Corps, the subdivision of Sony was the Ghost Corps was created.
Wasn't Ghost Corps created before 2016?
I don't believe that it was. I thought it was created after. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was
2016. I don't know.
I thought it was after.
Because I thought 2016 opened with the Ghost Corps logo.
Oh, maybe it did. Maybe I'm wrong. It's been 5 years. I forgot a lot about that.
It was 2016. No one remembers that movie.
I don't want to go back and rewatch that. Like
I don't think Megan McCarthy wants to watch that again.
No, but she likes talking about it whenever she gets the opportunity.
Yeah, talking about things that could have happened that didn't.
It's like, why does a whole bunch of people just really hate this movie? I don't understand it. Like, well, I mean, we can explain.
Those leaked emails are still so funny to me about that movie. They really are.
It did a lot.
It had potential. It had the potential, but
not based off of that.
The concept had the potential.
Well, I mean, of a reboot. The comics. They tried taking the comics, the IDW produced comics, and they tried moving them into, they wanted to take it and make it like connect. So they actually had like Holtzman go through a portal in one of the comics and go to like 1984 Prime, Ghostbusters Prime, and then meet the team and then learn how to actually be a Ghostbuster there, and then take that information back to her world to be able to then like properly bust ghosts, because they didn't actually bust any ghosts. And if anything, they participated in extrajudicial killings of ghosts. Right?
God, I'm just going back and looking.
If you think about it,
it's a ghost extermination.
If you think about it, they hunted down and they exterminated Rowan.
They had that dragon thing at the concert, right?
Yeah, well, they caught it and they let it go and it killed Bill Murray.
Oh yeah.
So they caught one ghost, it escaped and it killed Bill Murray. And then like they didn't catch any other ghosts, they just beat them up.
Yeah, they shot at them and destroyed them.
Yeah, rather than capturing them, putting them in
containers. Just to look back at it, 5 years ago, man, they uploaded that trailer sitting at 1.1 million dislikes. I remember that day very fondly.
Well, and very soon you won't be able to see that number anymore. So that will.
Thank you, YouTube.
Well, always have Internet Archive, though.
Always gonna have Internet Archive of that, 100%, man, 100%. No, I am hoping that I can go see Ghostbusters this week. I'm really gonna try. It is.
I had a bunch of fun. Phoebe is definitely the heart and soul of that movie.
That would be McKenna Grace's character.
Yes, the young girl.
I've heard everyone talk her up for sure.
Yeah, I like McKenna Grace as an actress. So
she's hilarious.
Apparently, she's taking a break from acting after this movie, though.
I don't. I mean, she's like a teenager. Like at this point, like let the girl like have let the girl have. She probably looks at like Finn Wolfhard and been in every been acting for years now, and
she's like
every 80s theme movie or
yeah, exactly. How was Finn Wolfhard in it though? Because I liked him.
I think it was pretty good. He's not like majorly in it, but he's
more
very
importantly.
Okay. See, I have
Paul Rudd.
How's Paul Rudd?
Paul Rudd is Paul Rudd.
Okay, that's not a bad thing though. That's not a bad thing. Yeah.
No.
It's very rare that you can sit there and go like, so how is this actor? And you're like, it's this person. You're like, oh, okay. Like I'm good with that.
Like it's Paul Rudd. He's the unaging man. What can you not say about him?
It's the most sexiest man of the year, or whatever.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's kind of like if you go like, it's how's Morgan Freeman in that movie? And you're like, it's Morgan Freeman. You're like, all right, I'm good. I'm fine. That's okay.
It's God. Well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, we're good. Unlike who could be a person who's like Kristen Stewart. Oh, it's Kristen Stewart movie. How is she in the movie? Oh, she's Kristen Stewart. I'll pass.
Right.
Well,
it depends on what kind of Kristen Stewart you're getting though. There's like different variations of her.
Well,
there's Kristen Stewart or something else.
Well, I mean, she's gotten better. I'll give her that. But you look at like Adventureland, and her acting was terrible in Adventureland. And then she was in like she's done smaller, more dramatic roles.
What was the movie she was in directed by Max Landis, the one Jesse Eisenberg? What was
American Ultra, which I actually really liked. Max Landis,
watch that.
It's good. I think it's on. Last I saw it was on Hulu. But Max Landis wrote it, and I forget the name of the guy who directed it. It's definitely
Max Landis.
No, he didn't direct it. It was somebody else. It was someone with a Middle Eastern name, is what I remember. And I'm not saying that for shade. I'm literally like, that's just what I remember. Starts with a B, I think.
Nima Norizade.
Okay, well, yeah. So I was off. It wasn't B, it's an N, but Anyway.
Still in the American alphabet.
Poor Max Landis. His career torpedoed itself.
Well, I mean, I had a friend who knew him personally, and like she believes every accusation made against the guy. He's still around, right?
Prick, yeah.
He's still around. He does live streams on Twitter and on YouTube, and he hosts like screenwriting like tutorial classes or some shit like that. Like,
oh wow, why would I want to learn screenwriting tips from him?
Because, dude, fucking Bright Netflix paid $3 million just for the script.
Okay, I guess that's a good.
So
buy anything though. Matt.
Back in the day, but say what you will about Max Landis. I mean, personally speaking, the guy's probably a piece of shit. But career wise, he was on a high for a while. And
I
apparently,
think he was gonna hit the mainstream if he didn't.
Yeah, well, that was Bright. Bright to him was he had said Bright was his Star Wars.
Oh wow.
And that's why they're doing Bright too, but they're doing that Bright animated movie.
Yeah.
Which I'm curious. Did that already come out?
I think it did.
Like did that? I
Yeah,
don't.
there was a Bright animation that came out a couple weeks ago actually, and nobody talked about it. Nobody talked about it
because they don't ever fucking promote shit. So it's like because I wanted to see it, so I have to go check that out. But then again, if I don't log into Netflix, I don't generally see what's there unless I know it's coming.
Well,
I don't.
Has anyone here watched Tiger King 2 yet?
No, I haven't.
No.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like it's so much stuff's coming and going on there.
Well, Tiger King took a couple weeks to get going pretty big. I mean, Squid Game took a few weeks to kind of hit that. Like nothing ever really kind of tackles or really hits right in the moment because they don't promote it, but they wait for word of mouth. I mean, look at like Manifest. Manifest gets canceled by NBC, and then the Manifest fans start basically trying to pull a Snyder cut on Netflix by artificially inflating the watch time to keep it at the number one in order to get people who are coming on. Oh, what's the number one viewed show today? Oh, Manifest is like the 10th week in a row. Oh, this has got to be pretty good. Let's check it out. And then the impact value of the watch time is what's going to push it to do all that. So it's definitely some crazy stuff. And everything, but
that's why I'm really liking what Netflix is doing, experimenting with like the weekly stuff. Like, I heard you talking about Arcane a few minutes ago.
Well, yeah, experimenting with the weekly stuff. But that's I mean, like that is the standard. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's such a weird thing.
The standard before Netflix, though.
Well, I mean, look, don't get me wrong. All right, like. Binge, I get the concept of binge. And I think it works to some extent, but it's like, again, like I didn't watch Invincible until the week of the season finale. Cause
to be fair, that's when most people start watching it.
Well, that's the whole point. And so then look at The Boys. The Boys season 1 dropped on Amazon. It all came out at one time. I watched the whole thing in 2019, went through it real quick.
Yeah.
And then season 2, they said, okay. They said, we're dropping the first 3 episodes and then it's going to go week to week. And they got so much fucking backlash from that. So much backlash. And then they
people are used to streaming and binging.
Yeah. And guess what? Wheel of Time, the new big like blockbuster fucking fantasy series on Amazon, just dropped 3 episodes. Then it's going week to week. Fucking Black Lotus on Adult Swim last week when it came out, 3 episodes, then week to week. The 3-episode concept works. And you know why it works? Because it gives you something to bite into. It's not the overbearing aspect of trying to get into a show and you go, oh my God, I have like 20 episodes to watch. Holy shit. It becomes too much, but you drop 3 episodes and people will sit there in an evening and watch 3 episodes and feel okay with it. And then they'll come back and they get into the habit of watching it. That's actually the smartest move. You don't have to have something play out over 3 months. You can have a series play out, a season play out over a month. And then that gives people enough time to get into it and then tell their friends. So you build the habitual idea of having it go, because it takes about 3 weeks to develop a habit. Mm-hmm. So you drop it, they get into that habit. It's over the week afterward, but they're still talking about it. That can get more people into it. That's my argument with that one.
Yeah, that's what I was going to try to say with Arcane. I liked what they did with it. They did it week to week, but they dropped each arc in batches.
Yeah, Act 1, then Act 2, then Act 3, which I like.
And they should do that for a lot more stuff. They should absolutely do that for a lot more stuff.
It gives people their binge. I
guarantee you, had they not done it that way, it wouldn't have blown up the way it did.
Probably not. No, yeah, it gives people their binge addiction, and the people who want to watch it slow burn, they can watch it week to week still.
Well, I mean, then again, you get something like Squid Game, which all came out, but then through word of mouth, everyone's like, have you fucking seen Squid Game? I think if they would have done that week to week, the cliffhanger wait between, oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Some of those episodes, like the way that it played out for me was like, I just sat there one night and I watched 6 episodes.
Like, is he going to die? Is he not going to die? Is he going to die?
Well, no. I knew he was going to, like, I knew what was going to happen. Because it's not hard to kind of figure it out, but I was looking for like what the twists are going to be. Mm-hmm. And then I was just engrossed by the whole experience. Like I was on a stream last night talking with a guy, Ambassadorio Wing, and he's like, I haven't seen it. I don't really plan on watching it. And I'm all like, I said, well, let me ask you, how do you feel about human suffering? Do you like it? Because the whole concept of Squid Game is it's human suffering, but but it allows people who have suffered to potentially win, and they all have equal footing to do so. And that's a really weird argument, and I think that's why it's so. Because how many fucking people, if you dangled that prize money over their head, would willfully go into like a gladiatorial arena and play games like this? And if you lose, you die. I mean, like we love reality TV shows when people get taken the fuck out. But imagine if they actually died. Would you still watch it? Hell yes, you would.
Yeah.
You'd watch it more intently. You would have your favorites. It would be insane. I mean, that's the reason why you get these movies like these stories like Hunger Games, Battle Royale, things along those lines. And they work out really well with the core audience, because guess what? That kind of survival shit is something that we inherently get off on. And it's because I think we all see ourselves in those situations, and because we can put ourselves there, and then we go, could I actually survive that? And you think to yourself, maybe I could win this. But at the same time, maybe you can't. But it's that whole concept of you don't know that would actually end up being it. But all right, man, I gotta let you go. I got a number of people still to get on in here, and I've got to race through because I got to get to bed here pretty quick.
All right, cool beans, man. It's good talking to you.
Good talking to you too, buddy. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah,
later.
Matt, I probably got to dip out as well because I got.
You're gonna dip. All right, yeah, I know you
get to the bed and stuff. I got stuff to do in the morning, so.
All right, man. Well, thanks for coming in, RJ. Appreciate you spending a couple hours to come on in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll talk soon.
Yeah, peace out.
All right, thanks. All right, you know what I'm going to do here? I'm just going to, for the sake of everything, I'm just going to bring in everybody because we'll do 20 more minutes, but we'll bring in Brian, Gavin, Tony, John, Defoe, and Mitch. It's a full panel. I know it's not, I know. At the end of the day, I generally tend to drop everybody in. So if you get in early, you get a little bit of one-on-one time, but now everyone's getting the hand.
It's the circle. It's the circle.
Circle.
Circle life.
It's the circle. Yeah, it's the circle of life.
Or the circle of poop in South Park's case.
Oh man, new South Park this week. Did you guys hear about that one?
No.
Oh really?
I stopped caring much in South Park, man. Honestly.
Hold on. There's someone's got some hissing in the background.
Oh,
must be a hot
That's
shower.
just water coming.
Oh, there's.
Look,
okay, and there's H-Barts, which I thought I brought him in. Hold on. Nope. I'm running through the list. Nope. It's it's Mitch. Mitch is the culprit. There.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go. So okay, I guess we can kind of run through it real quick. Very quick elevator pitch. What's on everyone's mind? Brian, go.
Well, basically, I kind of want to get off my chest about the whole, the lightsaber you probably saw at the D23 panel over the weekend.
I'm not. I saw the lightsaber. I'm not upset at the lightsaber though.
Yeah, but the fact that everyone's
hold on. I'll try to find it. Keep talking about it, but I'll try to find the video.
The reason why I'm having an issue with this whole lightsaber fiasco is because the way how Disney marketed it was going to be, say, a real lightsaber. It's is honestly false marketing. It was mainly for like a show effect. It was never intended to be sold or bought or touched or whatever. And then the footage that we got with Disney Parks chairman Josh D'Amaro, where he showed off this lightsaber training. Well, everyone on the internet got pissed off and saying it looks like an arcade video game. You go play at Dave and Buster's and it looks like Fruit Ninja, and it looks all gimmicky. And the bridge actually looks like a 70s like arcade video game and everything. I'm like, people are really dropping $5,000 for this. This is like the backlash that everyone was all pissed off about. So,
well, what he's talking about here, and I'm trying to find the link you sent me because I know you sent me a couple.
Yeah.
Couple. Where the hell did I see it though? I only checked my Twitter, but yeah. So the idea here is that they were talking about the lightsaber, making a lightsaber real. I never thought it was going to be real.
Yeah.
But what they did is they created one where it does functionally work in regards to its extending. Yeah. Right. Like you have that ability to do. But unfortunately, it's nothing more else with it. It's all performative essentially.
It's all performative, and everyone was like, "Oh, and everyone that has Nintendo is like, oh, can I buy it or can I touch it?" I'm like, "Well, then we had the media preview last week, and I'm like, well, fortunately, you cannot do that." And then all these dumbass like clickbait. I was reading an article like Gizmo was like, "Oh hey, Daddy, that's Daddy. No, don't touch the zone." I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like really, it's like all these fabricated clickbait headlines because of not for something you don't like. It's really stupid, and it's like that. I mean, personally, if you want to get a lightsaber, go drop $200 at Zabi's workshop and get all accessories for it. But that's just my 2 cents on it.
Well, that's the thing. So here, I'll show you guys real quick what he's talking. Yeah. So this is the clip from D23 where they show off everything. Let me make sure the sound is good. All right.
It's pretty cool though. I give it up.
Are we ready?
Okay, that is pretty cool right there. Not gonna lie.
Pretty cool, right? It is real. Now, this one belongs to Ray. She let me borrow it, but we're gonna have to get it back to her. So I'm gonna get this back to Ray. Bobby, happy birthday.
Yep.
So I mean, like that's the reality of it, and I mean it's pretty cool. Now I want it. Hold on, Tetrisphere asked to play it one more time. Okay, hold on. Here we go.
It's so cool though. I mean, it does sound cool.
I showed that to my girlfriend yesterday because we were in the car traveling down to the wedding. And then I'm like, hey, we stopped off for a second. I said, hey, check this thing out. And I showed her. She's like, oh, wow, that's really cool. I was like, yeah, I'd like to get my hands on that, but like, it's not for sale. And she's like, I kind of see why.
Yeah, I mean, you can also see what Josh is like. He doesn't retract it because look how thin the blade is. It's like
well, it's a tape measure. It's tape all measure. It is an LED. But you know what bothered me? I'll tell you what bothered me though, about that. It was this right here. This looks ridiculous, and because one of the things that they were really hyping up in regards to everything was all about. Let me if I can find the screenshot here. Okay, yeah, let me save that. I'll show you guys. So when they were, oh fuck, god damn
I mean, it's not as bad as like M&M's like my salsa not coming out or something. If anybody gets the joke.
Yeah. I mean, but this is where everyone was all pissed off about. People were saying that this looks like an arcade game. You could play it at like your local Dave & Buster's.
Yeah, for the amount of money that they're charging.
Yeah,
I thought that there'd be a little bit more. So this is what they pitched it as initially, and that was this was their promo art for it, right? So showing like this is what it's like. Oh, hey, we're all going to be, this is what this guy got a shield right there for any kind of like spark fall off or something.
Yeah, like spark, like you can actually deflect it with like the lightsaber and like how they shoot.
Yeah, like okay. I mean, like sure, I get that. Fine. Yvonne here says it's like the Back to the Future hoverboard. Don't get me started on that one.
Yeah.
All right. I was a child. Okay, I had dreams and hopes. But so that's that. But then this is what they showed off at the event, and again, it's kind of like
if you want to show the clip a little bit, you can see. Yeah.
This looks.
I just like I don't.
Yeah.
What about that was fun? It
didn't look like entertaining me.
Well, because he wasn't like he's he's not even like any kind of fun. Because if it was they should have got a kid.
Slightly moving his shoulders.
He's like He's like oh I'm ducking I'm weaving. You know what? And it's like there's no sound when it's connecting because I don't think he even once like had the lightsaber. But that's also not the lightsaber they're going to be using. I don't think.
No, it's a prefix lightsaber. They're going to give it. It's a replica. It's not the one they're going to give you. The ones that Rey has, like as for the performer. So, I mean, this is one of the news. This is kind of like I think that Disney is not really was not carefully thinking when they were marketing like the whole like concept like, oh, I'm gonna live my Star Wars dreams and actually I can use them. Like no, it's not. So
yeah, for the 5,000 that they want to go or however much.
I mean, I was gonna ask you like, is this something you're gonna maybe want to like reconsider, or do you still want to go, or do you?
Oh, I still want to go. It's still an experience I want to have, but I mean, I would need to like, I would need a lot of support to get there. You know what I mean?
I mean,
I got to deliver a lot of fucking McDonald's,
it's kind
man.
of cool though. I mean, because they confirmed that you can actually change your role. Let's say during your race, let's say you want to support the First Order, but then you want to change the Resistance. You can do that. So You can choose.
Yeah,
wherever the path you want.
but the thing is though, like I'm going on a cruise to Alaska next summer, and for my whole family to go for a week, it's going to be it's less money
Yeah.
than by going for literally like less than a day and a half. Because
Yeah.
it's less than a day and a half. You get to the ship, you board, you pull on up to the port, and and they valet your park your car or whatever, or
Yeah.
in my case, I take like an Uber or some shit, and then you get up there, you go on in, you check in at 1 p.m. You go through all whatever orientation there might be, you do your little bit, and then you kick it off. So it's from 1 p.m. and then you get the whole next day. And then you check out by like I think 9 a.m. the next morning. It's not even 2 whole days. It's
not,
like 32 hours.
No.
Or like 40. No, sorry, not 32 hours. No, it's more than that. But it's like
it's more. Yeah.
It's literally like it's 2 nights, 1 day, effectively. And that's like, what the fuck, man? Give me a week of this shit.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Give me an actual adventure. Like, and then it's like, but you guys get to go on an expedition down to Batu, but they're not closing off Batu.
They're not.
They're not, I'm like, if I'm paying this money, bitch, close out the fucking park. Do it at night. Do it towards the end of the day, or do it early in the morning. Like have a couple hours where it's like you want to go on the Millennium Falcon ride like 2,800 times in a row. Cool. You paid the fucking money to be there.
I hope the God. I hope the God that like the costumes that they showed off too. I hope that that comes with it, because if that costs extra, everyone's gonna be pissed about it.
Given everything Disney,
it's going to cost extra.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah,
I know.
Like we're planning a Disneyland trip here in the next couple of years to take the girls when they get a little bit older. And I've never done Walt Disney World, but I think for taking my kids at the age that they are right now, I would prefer Disneyland over Disney World, predominantly because I know Disneyland and I know what to expect, and I know what to do, or I have a better understanding of how to survive that. Whereas I would not want to take a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old to Disney
Orlando?
World. Yeah,
No,
Orlando.
It's like you're going to a city. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing is like I really feel like Disneyland should be like, I think most theme parks should have like a minimum entry for 5 years and up sort of thing.
No, I agree.
And I think like that would be best. I don't know. That's just me. I know there's parents there that like, I have my 2-week-old baby and we're going out to Walt Disney World and we're going to watch the fireworks and it's going to be, it's like, bitch, your fucking kid is 2 weeks old, man.
You're not gonna remember it.
No, well, not even that. But like your kid is, you don't want to expose your kid to some shit. Not to say kids have a high immune rate. Their immune system is like super fucking good, but they can still get something, and it's like still, But parents do that shit for them. Like when my sister had my nephew, he was like, I don't know, a month old, and they drove like a couple hours south to go to the zoo, and we just wanted to take him to the zoo. I'm like, he's like he's a month old or some shit. The fuck's he gonna remember none of that crap for? Have you gone? And then here's the thing: has she gone back to the zoo in the subsequent 5 years? I don't think so.
No, and I think personally, in my opinion, for someone that's been covering the theme parks for a while, I think that your children, I think in my opinion, are like the right suitable age, because why? Because later down the line, you're like, hey, guess what? Here's all these great photos, and here's all these experiences that you can reflect on, and it's like, say when they get older, like, hey, guess what? If they're like teenagers, like, hey, guess what? Can we go with our friends and everything? Because there's a lot of great other stuff down the potential that was announced over the weekend for D23. So the future is coming on the horizon. So
yeah, there's a lot there. Brian, you are talking a little bit fast though,
Sorry,
so
man.
it's hard to kind of follow a bit.
Yeah.
But all right, man. Thank you for that, Gavin. I know you've been waiting a little bit. Is there anything you want to quickly touch on?
Yeah, you guys can you hear me first of all?
Yeah, we can hear you, man.
Okay, thanks. That's awesome. Yeah, I want to touch on, you guys were talking about like the Marvel stuff, and I gotta tell you, man, I think that Doom will be like easier to do because Doom really hasn't had a good live action, character so far. But I'm telling you, man, Magneto, we have had 2 amazing actors play Magneto, and I'm not saying that if the MCU Magneto won't be good, but can it live up to what those 2 did?
Yeah. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. I think if anything, if they touch upon like bringing in the X-Men characters like in the Multiverse of Madness is going to establish it a little bit, and they bring back Fassbender as Magneto, I'm okay with that. I've also heard there's rumors that James McAvoy will be back as Professor X in fucking in Doctor Strange. And I'll say this personally, I don't know how you guys feel, but when I was watching Dark Phoenix, whatever you think about that movie, because it has its good moments in my opinion, and it got some real low moments, but at the end of that movie, the last scene is the two of them playing chess. And the thing was, when it got to that scene, my emotional response was like, no, I'm not ready for this to end yet, because it's been 4 movies, good or bad, and those two have had an amazing chemistry, amazing time, and I love seeing them in those movies, and I'm not ready for that to go away yet. And so if they were to do, if the only thing they were going to bring over from those Fox movies was going to be Professor X and fucking Magneto, that would be fine with me, But then again, I'm also here.
Characters.
No, they were. I mean, they had Mystique, but let's be fair. Jennifer Lawrence is, Jennifer Lawrence is most likely going to end up being Sue Storm.
I mean, do you think Patrick Wood actually will come back to the MCU? I mean, or is it?
Well, I mean, there's been talks that he's also filmed scenes for like Doctor Strange too.
Yeah.
Like there's been talks about that as well, but I don't know if he would come back. I mean, he's like 80. He's doing, he's doing Picard. Yeah. And I mean, going out in Logan was like, that was an Oscar nominated movie. So that was a great performance on his part. And it's something I don't know. He's made mention of not wanting to come back, but then again, Hugh Jackman is also rumored to have a cameo appearance in Doctor Strange. And it's like, why? It's been almost 5 years since Logan came out. Like, that movie is still top tier comic book movie. It's such a good, I just bought the 4K of it this week because I had it on Black Friday sales and stuff. And it's like such a good movie. It's like, why would you, you don't have to, but at the same time, I'm not against it.
I really do feel like that Doctor Strange 2 is actually going to be actually pushing the boundaries like Spider-Man. They're trying to add way too much into it. That's just my personal opinion. So.
Well, I think they're trying to fast track the multiverse saga, if you want my honest opinion. Yeah. I think they established it with Loki, and now they've got to push it. Like, now they've got to drop those bombs, because with the multiverse opening, it's not going to be a slow thing. It's going to be bam, 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 bam. Here's going to be all this other shit. So they've got to drop that bombshell. And obviously, whatever happens with Doctor Strange and that spell in No Way Home, that's going to coincide, I think, very much going to coincide with also the events that took place at that same time. So here's what I mean by that. So if you go and you look at WandaVision, when WandaVision takes place, I think before the events of Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So, but I'm wondering is I got to go look at the timeline again, but they might retrofit the timeline to where they end up doing, no, because WandaVision takes place 9 months or something after, right?
6 months or something like that, yeah.
And then doesn't Spider-Man Far From Home take place 9 months after?
Yeah, 9 months, yeah.
So but then again, how long were they in the city? How long were they outside? How long?
For Westview?
For Westview, how long were they there? Because I know it was 3 days in the first couple episodes, and they had gone through a decade a day sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of extended out between, in episode 4, when the boys became older, and then it went through the different decades. We still don't know necessarily. It's been suggested that it's been weeks, but they could also say it's been longer than that. So if they say that it's longer than that, they could find a way to tie in the Wanda fighting Agatha, and then the emergence that was in Loki, having that tie in around the same time, and then having the spell from Doctor Strange also happen at the same time, as if it's fated to happen, so to speak.
If I may bear ask, Matt, do you think actually the spin-off series for Agatha for House of Harkness is going to play the factor too, or no?
I don't know what they're going to do with it. All I know is I'm excited because I enjoyed Agatha as a character, and I love Catherine Hahn.
I love Catherine Hahn too.
I'm really interested to see what they do with it. I think, if they touch upon her being a witch, like, conflict and whatever else. But then again, like, look, man, if they're doing, because there's been all those talks about Mephisto or Nightmare
Oh yeah.
popping up, and if they, and they're not going to sit there and shy away from those type of. Oh, I'll tell you guys this. I had a theory a while back during all that Mephisto and WandaVision stuff. Like, my theory was this, like, Marvel dropping any of this information subtly on their own. And then it just like they have like burner accounts that go out there and say like, oh my God, did you see that? Like that fly on the wall that we see in that one shot in the episode. Mephisto first appeared in the comics as a fly on the wall. I mean, and like and then everyone's there, they just run rampant. Their speculation runs rampant because it's already primed to explode. So it's like, are they doing that as a way to build ultimate hype? And I wouldn't be surprised if they use subversive marketing on that front.
I agree.
So we'll have to wait and see on that one. But because I only got a few minutes left, guys, so let's kind of wrap through this quick. Let's see. Tony, what's on your mind, buddy?
Yeah, my idea here is, or my thoughts rather, with all these Star Wars shows that were coming out in the horizon, all the like Kenobi, Book of Boba Fett, all that.
Yeah, Ahsoka too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hayden Christensen is coming back. In the past, I know he's gotten some crap for being a slab of wood as an actor. Do you think guys like him get a bad rap, or is he really slab of wood, as some people say? Or could
he got better after that.
Yeah, he did.
He got better, and people are excited to see what brings to it. I don't think George Lucas is the best person to direct actors. I think he's great at world building. I think he's great at trying to tell stories. Dialogue, not always the best. And then acting may not be the best either.
Yeah, look at what Harrison Ford said to him. He said, "George, you can write this shit, but you sure as hell can't say it."
Pretty much. And that also requires an actor, a director, to be able. Okay, there's a saying I learned in high school, or not high school, film school, that said like, a good director can make a bad actor better. A good actor cannot make a bad director better. Mm-hmm. And it's not to say that Lucas is a bad director, but some people out there just make like I wouldn't expect me to direct the movie and to go like to pull out an extremely nuanced take from somebody. I probably would just like kind of go, okay, we shot it, we're good, let's move along. Right. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like how I would do that. But at the end of it, I don't see Lucas being that kind of director, but I do see someone like Deborah Chow being able to elicit that, or whoever's going to be tackling the Ahsoka, which will probably end up being Dave Filoni, will be directing that. And I think
this is her character. Oh, his.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be something that that they're going to work on, and obviously they're in a much different place. They can explore more stuff with these shows versus a 2-hour movie.
I mean, I also like you saw that recent casting news for that one actress I never heard of who actually got casted as Sabine for the Ahsoka series.
Yeah, I forget her name off the top of my head, but she was in The Society on Netflix. So yeah, and she looks really good. She looks close to the part. So
yeah, she does.
And that just means Ezra Bridger is not far behind.
This past summer, there was the idea that the guy from Aladdin might be a live action.
Mina Masu.
Yeah. I mean, there's been, he hasn't been officially confirmed, but people have said that that's the case.
Yeah, it's just fan service. Fan service that wants to.
Yeah, but fan service is what got Rosario Dawson the job too.
That's true.
So I mean, it can happen.
If not him, then who else could you see as the character?
What's the guy from it's like Rahul
Kohli?
Yeah, I think he'd be really good, but I kind of think Mina.
Yeah, he looks the part. Yeah, he
looks the part, and he could play Ezra a bit, because I think Ezra needs to be a bit on like the obnoxious side.
Yeah.
Well, that's just a Middle Eastern bit. I mean, like Ezra Bridger is not really like the most, it doesn't really make you feel like it's coming in from like the heart of the Middle East, Yeah. But I feel like the character I like the character. He's endearing, but he's also kind of been like a snotty little punk at times. And I would see more of that performance coming out of Mina rather than Rahul. Rahul would be great as like an older Ezra, like a way more like combat experienced Ezra.
Especially if he's bearded, you think?
Yeah, I think like an older guy, like if he was like Kanan's age, like give him like 20 years. you know, and you could see him playing that part a bit like older and more refined. But where they're going to have this in the timeline, Mina would be a better representation of Ezra.
I mean,
overall.
If you saw Aladdin, I mean, he's got the athleticism, he's got the wits, he's got
and
the
comedic chops a little bit, you know, to do that. And so, and I liked him in Aladdin actually. I when I finally saw it, so it'd be that one. But all right, man. So let's sorry,
Ron. I think it was said that Lars Mikkelsen, who voiced him, was going to come back too. Do you see him?
I heard that. Yeah, I did hear that. So I'm hoping, because I think he was great in the part, and I think he kind of looks it. And if he wants to be blue, then let him be blue. But then again, Benedict Cumberbatch has been like, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to be blue. But you know what? Hey man, it's like, you know, like you played a slave master in 12 Years a Slave. I think you'll do anything for a paycheck.
Oh, exactly.
It's a horrible reference, but it's like, no, actors want to act is all I'm saying on that. Actors want to act.
Exactly.
All right. Mitch, what's on your mind real quick, buddy?
Can I go after whoever the J guy is?
Yeah. John here. John's there.
Oh, I'm here.
Saggy Melons.
Saggy just jumped in at the very, 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 very end.
Quick, guys, let's talk about Star Wars some more, shall we?
It was a sausage fest. I had to come on and balance it out.
I mean, well, I've heard the rumors. That you're rocking kind of a mini sausage down there, but it's really just.
We don't talk about my mini. Listen, we don't talk about my
like it's like you can literally place your mini sausage in your hot dog bun. You know what I mean? Like you can just fold it down and crying game that shit.
You seem like you know more about my mini wiener than I even know about. And that's a little
because I was sent your search history. That's how I know.
Who sent you, RJ? I knew that little snake did that. He was asking a lot of questions today.
Yeah, like what's your grandmother's maiden name? What street did you grow up on? What was the name of your father's first car?
He said it was for science. I believed him, and now I see what he was doing.
Science rules.
It's some more like biology.
When someone says for science, it's not really about science, okay?
Well, I saw Tony on, and I wanted to come say hi because Tony I always see in the chats, and I never had the pleasure of actually talking.
Once before, actually.
Once before?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I gotta stop smoking crack.
But here I am now, so.
Well, hello. It's nice to talk to you again, then.
Hello there.
And everybody else on the panel, and maybe sometimes Jarbo.
Yeah, sometimes. I am like, I do have to get to bed. So you did come at the very end on this one here.
No, I just wanted to say hi, but I was waiting. John had something to say, so.
Yes, John. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Ghostbusters made me cry. That's all I got to tell you.
Nice.
I
do want to see
until
it.
the end, but you're going to cry when you see him.
Make sure you guys get the popcorn bucket. It goes on sale.
Yeah, I don't have any AMC's near me.
Oh, that sucks.
I have a Regal and a Cinemark. The nearest AMC is Seattle, and I'm not driving that distance.
Well, it's gonna drop online, so
yeah.
I go to Regal.
I do. I have 11 Regal theaters in Las Vegas. 11 to choose from.
It's all about AMC. Awesome. All about AMC, bro.
Yeah, I think AMC is the better kept theater, but for me though, I like Edwards, which is owned by Regal. So I think the Edwards stuff is better.
See, I haven't seen Ghostbusters. I plan on seeing it, but I already know just from the things I've seen that it's a tearjerker because like there's just so much nostalgia that you see in the trailers that you're just like, this movie's gonna cut you so deep. And it's going to be really like, oh, my feels. I remember when that happened.
Where the hell does that bowl of onions come from? Very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was nice that it was unexpected because I didn't expect the ending to be that way at all. I mean, I thought it was some direction.
Yeah.
But, no. I'm just saying it's unexpected from what I thought it would be. That's all.
It was actually pretty cool. Like when I saw the other night, actually one of my local charity organizations that dressed up as the Ghostbusters, they were giving away free posters. So,
dude, if you tell me one of the Jonas Brothers shows up at the end of Ghostbusters, I'm leaving.
Oh no! I'm just waiting for the Matrix 4 to come out soon. That's coming up.
Oh no, that's gonna be a box office like brawl between Spider-Man and Matrix. Oof. Warner's gonna side Sony.
Warner's. Keep in mind though, Warner's is more wanting HBO Max with that. So they're that's where their impact value is coming from. But all right there. Okay, so John. Well, I saw someone say on Twitter, someone I know just said that the ending of Ghostbusters Afterlife was terrible, but
What?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. Don't say shit.
Complaining.
You guys reserve your opinion when you see it, man.
Yeah, I mean, the guy, I like the guy well enough, but he's been defending Cowboy Bebop all weekend, so defends Cowboy Bebop, but then say
Well, I
ending
like Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah,
the live action's just fine. I mean, it's just, I'm disappointed that they didn't have completely new stuff. I mean, that's what I really wanted.
Well,
but,
as a fan of the original, the direction they took towards the end was very interesting and is going to actually change the story completely for the next season.
Well, I mean, the cartoon, I don't think he died. I think he still continues.
No, in the cartoon.
Well, hey, I haven't seen it. Spoilers.
No,
I had to
this
turn
is
off.
cartoon.
You've never seen the cartoon?
No, I never saw the cartoon either. So I'm going in blind on both.
You haven't seen.
Do I watch anime,
yet, Matt?
Do I watch anime?
Did you not see Toonami, man, Matt?
Bitch, I was like 25 when Toonami came out.
Oh my god.
Wow,
you acting like I'm out there watching Cartoon fucking Network at 5 p.m. This ain't no fucking Disney adventure shit.
Toonami was a shit back in the day, man.
I still watch it.
Shit. I'd turn it on and it'd be like, "Oh, hi, I'm Sailor Moon."
The host was awesome.
Or what was it? Reboot was on there, wasn't it? Reboot or
that show's still going on.
Reboot? Wasn't like Rurouni Kenshin on there too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fucking
Don't you remember? Don't you remember Fooly Cooley? Fooly Cooley was freaking awesome.
No, I just know a little bit of it. There was a chick I was trying to hook up with that was trying to show me anime, and maybe that's why I don't like it.
Honestly, I really think that there's a lot of animes you would really, really like, Jarvis, if you really gave me a shot.
I'm not saying there's shit I wouldn't like. I'm just saying that there's shit I wouldn't probably care to dive into unless whatever. Anyway, when it comes to Cowboy Bebop, I do want to see it. And everything else, which is also why if I get out of here maybe a little early, I can actually watch an episode before I go to bed. So, but we do got a quick $20 super chat from Todd. Thank you, buddy, so much, man. Jarbo, do you think Avengers Endgame was the greatest comic book movie ever? No, I don't.
No,
I really don't. I love it. Don't get me wrong. It's up there. In my mind, the top two, there's three that I think are in the top three. And that would be The Dark Knight, Watchmen, and Logan. I think as far as just, in regards to adaptation and just style and how it made me feel, Watchmen, obviously, Zack Snyder, I think, knocked it out of the park. I watched that movie a bunch in theaters. Logan was, again, another one that just kind of, it was a nice ending to a character that I love. And an amazing emotional experience and great action. Mangold knocked it out of the park. And then you look at The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight was just this utter phenomenon that, showcased what I think Batman could get to. And Endgame isn't like top 5, but like, it's like, but I still think it, but here's the thing though. I also view Infinity War and Endgame as like the same movie. It's just part 1, part 2. It's like, it's like, do you look at Kill Bill as being Kill Bill 1, Kill Bill 2? No, it's Kill Bill. But it's volume 1, volume 2, same story. So I'd argue that like Infinity War and Endgame are kind of like the same movie in my mind. It's just, broken apart.
I've always thought they were part 1, part 2 the whole time. I never thought they were independent movies.
Todd, he's lying. His favorite superhero movie ever is Blue Beetle. Like, let's just be honest. Let's just be honest with you.
Well, Moisture says, what? No Snyder Cut? No, I like Snyder Cut. I've only watched it like one time, like 1.5 times. It's not something I've gone back to. I enjoy it, but I don't feel like I don't feel the need to revisit it.
It's 4 hours long, dude. Rewatching it is like a whole big event.
Here's the thing too. It's like, like watching, like, let's say, Cowboy Bebop, for example. Like today, I was with my kids and stuff, and I'm like, well, it's not kid friendly, so I can't put it on. And
it's not at all.
It's not kid friendly at all. And it's like, and if they were a little older, it'd be a little different of a scenario. Or if like if my 2-year-old was there and my 4-year-old who repeats everything that she hears, wasn't there, a little bit different of a scenario. I could get away with watching something like that. but you know, you just can't do it. And so I have to be so it just takes me forever. And then it's like work and life get in the way. So I don't watch as much. It took me like, again, I had to get sick in order to sit down and watch Squid Game. So like I had to get sick because I couldn't do anything. I'm like, all right, I'll finally watch it. Anyway, yeah, don't go off on the panel for Cowboy Bebop, Saggy.
No, because RJ was arguing with that the writing, and after I finished the show, I even disagree with him even more now because the direction I can see they're going with this story, how everyone was like, oh, they're and they are doing it like the anime, but the ending changes everything, and that's why I'm like, ooh, this is I like where they're going with this. This is going to be an interesting
this is the
take.
first time I've heard anything like this because Watanabe is actually pretty. He really refused to even expand beyond the last episode for a long, long time.
Well, they did something similar to this in the Japanese version of Death Note, where the entire Death Note movies were exactly from the anime, like story-wise and everything, but they changed how it ended in the movies, which opened up a new possibility for original new storyline, which is why I liked Cowboy Bebop, because it did that same similar thing where it stays true to the original source material. Yes, RJ, I said source material again, bitch. and then it takes it to a different direction with how it ends. It's like, oh, wait a minute, that didn't happen in the anime. Wait a minute, what's gonna happen now? Because now you have a whole new story to tell. So F you, RJ, the writing is fantastic, and you can suck my toes.
Okay, well, I think on that note, it's a good place to wrap things up because I gotta go.
Sucking?
Well, didn't Mitch have something?
I'm so sorry, Mitch. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. What is it?
How much time do you have left?
We'll do like 5 minutes. That's not a lot, but it's something.
Okay, like it's like a quick message. I know this happened like about a month ago, but it's kind of like a response to like, you remember that Anthony guy that always wanted to like call in or whatever? Like, this is my message.
Yeah. He's still talking about me.
Yeah, I was gonna make like a
claims to be
response.
over you, Matt, but yet you live rent free inside his head.
Well, yeah, I think because he really wanted to be with me.
Well, hopefully he starts writing. I hope he starts to write because he needs to actually get over the fear.
He sent me pictures once of like his script.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm not gonna I'm not gonna share it, but
oh, okay.
It's
we
like,
need to know.
Yeah, it's like, I think he's a nice enough guy. It's just the obsessive nature of it is really what it is.
Bordering.
Yeah, I was just gonna like make a quick message about like my thoughts on like how that went and like a message to like spread out, if you don't mind.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like, with Anthony and any potential fans that decide to like, backstab you or like turn against you just because you didn't give them the time and day and the attention they wanted, just because you had a life. And also people like me who also have a life and go to school, and others who have jobs. Like, Matt's not going to have all the time to like, be your like, monkey to do whatever, because that's how life is, like, and to just like go against them and like hate on them, like, that's fucked up. Like, I mean, I admit that when the shit happened with Matt back 3 years ago, I was like, what the fuck, Matt, why'd you do that? But over time I was just like, whatever, it's not a big deal. And then right now, like, I think Matt's kind of a cool guy. Like, my opinion of him kind of like came back. Like, my respect kind of went up a bit, and just
thank you.
Knowing that people out there are trying to like, be all up on trying to like seek and be obsessive about all this and with you and whatever, and then on a drop of a dime, they just outright like flame you and like have spite against you. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, I know. Well, that feeling. Well, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say there are people out there that feel like they're entitled to time. And you know,
Yep.
they're like, and Saggy knows what I'm talking about. You know, with one guy in particular, and everything. So there are people who are like that, and I don't really like, you know, I mean, I kind of realize that if a person's acting that way, like I'll ask them to stop, and then if not, then it's like, you know, let's just kind of get rid of him, because I ain't got time for that. And people who want to bring up 3 years ago, I mean, that's more on them than it is on me. I mean, I've moved on. You know, people haven't. That's them. That's, you know.
And when you think about it too,
Yeah, like I
as
kind
a
of
series. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Anyway.
like I kind of relate to like Anthony's situation in a way where like I was like just a huge fan of this one guy who I thought like, you know, I could like relate to him, like I could like understand where he's coming from, like, you know, we had like such a relatable life, but over time as I tried desperately trying to like connect with him and trying to be his friend, he ended up like, you know, calling me like a stalker, being obsessive and all that. And, you know, that's what it is. Like, you know, you can't really just like force people to like want to be your friend or give you the attention you want. You just have to like hope to God that, you know, it's either they care enough to be your friend or give you the attention, or just become like just a fan of theirs and view their content as however you may well please, you know, like you gotta accept that, you know, you're either a fan or not, or a friend or not, you know. But yeah, that's all I gotta say.
You always had your coming to Jesus moment. Am I right?
Guess. I mean, at least it's not like Christian nailing his mom, just like how Jesus got nailed on the cross. I mean, as long as at least it's not like that, you know.
Jesus, that's a hell of a. That's a. I mean, wow.
And
I was about hanging around.
Yeah.
I will say this
Did
too.
you nail it just right?
Well, I will say this too with you, Matt. I think I'm probably stating the obvious here, but Quad is your show. 3 Buck Theater is your channel. You do with it as you please.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, I'll dabble. You know, I don't mind, like, you know, like kind of calling out Doomcock, because I think there's greater implications.
Well, Doomcock is a cock.
Well, that's true, but what I mean by that is that there's greater implications to people, like to what he says and how it spreads, right? Like people like Geeks and Gamers and those guys, they're gonna say shit, but it stays here, right? It influences idiots, obviously, but it stays here. Whereas Doomcock will say something and it will spread outward to like the different, you know, chud websites. But then that gets into like Google News, and that gets into like Facebook News and other feeds that get picked up by the RSS readers. And those end up going out to people that are unsuspecting, and they start to believe that this shit's real. And that is my concern, is on that one. I don't want to cover like people like Doomcock every day, because I get kind of bored of it pretty quick. But like when he has a pretty shitty take, and even with people like, you know, the Fandom Menace types, I think they do need to be called out more often. Not everyone can go to a meetup with them and get a free hat. Saggy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, is it good that I have no godforsaken idea who the fuck Doomcock is? Like, is it good that I barely
you were
know?
better off, I
With
did.
pigs and a fucking blanket for the 100th time. Listen, the key to my heart is my tummy. You feed me, I'm yours. I'm
Wait,
really
hold.
I'm really
And
that
earlier,
simple.
okay, hold on here. There was a comment earlier when we were talking about your nether region. Someone said, here we go. Yvonne said pigs in a blanket.
Thank you.
So there we go, folks. Full fucking circle tonight. Full fucking circle. Saggy has clearly shared way too much with us this evening. Okay, no, pigs in the blanket are good. I get that. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
fuck you, Music Man. Pigs in a blanket are amazing. They're great finger food.
like,
What's pigs in a blanket? I'm young.
Pigs in a blanket is a mini wiener wrapped in yeast. So something that might accurately represent Saggy's vagina. It's a mini wiener wrapped in yeast.
Wait, you could always pull Bill Clinton into a cigar instead.
Listen, Jabba would know because it was his mini wiener that gave the yeast. So
Listen. All right, smegma is a gift that keeps on giving.
Did she just pronounce your last name as like almost similar to like Jabba, like Jabba?
I get that a fair
I
amount
have
anyway.
a
Like,
Boston accent. You don't
yeah,
pronounce the I.
Jabbo, it's Jabbo the Hutt,
Jabbo.
Jabbo. I can't do a Boston one. I'd
No,
like
you
to, though.
can't. That's the only accent.
Get to the
you can.
car with the bar.
Oh,
and your
shoot.
ma.
Wait, rational skeptic. Hey, I mean, if you got a pig in a blanket, call me.
Wait, get hot, Jeremy.
Saggy. Oh my God. Calm down there, Eddievolution.
I don't know. I thought pig in the blanket is like some kind of weird ass.
Matt, ask Saggy how hard RJ will be listening to this. RJ's in the chat, dude.
No.
RJ's in the chat.
Real quick, I did a stream talking about Cowboy Bebop, and me and RJ were having it out in the chat, and I started yelling at him, and then I called him a monster, and I was just going on this little rant roast on him, and then he leaves a comment, and he's like, "Saggy, you're the real monster. Every time you yell at me, it makes me harder." And everyone was like, "Wait, pause. What did you just say?" I said, "Every time I yell at you, it makes you harder." I said, "RJ, men pay women online to do that. I do that for you for free."
There we go. Geeks here going back to the old cut, the hard cut, deep lore, the Maya Rudolph scandal. That was always pretty funny.
RJ has Snorlax. I think he'll be fine.
RJ with his, you looking like a snare.
Yeah.
Listen, I just
funny.
I just appreciate the fact that
it's like RJ.
Wait.
Sorry, I didn't know what was happening.
No, I don't know either.
I was just gonna say, I mean, I appreciate that.
I was just gonna say, like, hey.
Okay, we're at somebody's lagging. It might be me.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was just gonna say maybe RJ's gonna star in the new remake of The Hard Times of RJ Burger. If anybody remembers that TV show from that long ago.
No. RJ Burger. What is that? Sounds kind of familiar. To be honest with you, I don't know. But
it's basically some nerdy, geeky kid that got popular because his dick is huge, and that's it.
Oh, it's Ron Jeremy. RJ Ron Jeremy.
Well, I guess that's a thing. I mean, we do have a tendency in this country of
he doesn't have a pig, he has a hog.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just saying, if in this country, in our society, if you do have a large penis, it is kind of like something people out there really seem to care for. So, I mean, I don't have a need for. Wait, hold on. I'm trying to think of how to frame that in a way. I'm good. Anyway, on that note, I think it's a good time to kind of wrap it up because, again, it's got to go.
Way past midnight time.
So I do appreciate everyone stopping by, and thank you all for hanging out this evening. So we'll be back on tomorrow night with another episode. And all right, everyone, have a good one. Thank you again.
Yeah, when you do another call in, I'll show up early. But I had class.
Yeah, it was kind of a last minute thing, and then RJ popped in and we talked about the new stuff. But yeah, thanks a lot, buddy. I appreciate it. I'll see everybody later.